I
Spoot.
forgot where I
Hello!
was this morning.
We all do that occasionally. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Newly Forged. I am Jared, your dungeon master. We're going to go around, do some intros. I would like everyone to tell me who you are, who you're playing, and I would like to know an unknown that your character wishes to discover.
Oh,
The character wishes to discover.
Yes, an unknown that your character wants to know. So let us start. Let's start with Mike.
Great. This is fairly easy. So my name is Mike. I play Defect, the Warforged Barbarian, who has a mysterious past. So really, anything about where he's from is the unknown that he wishes to pursue.
Fair enough.
Easy, simple, straight to the point.
Yeah, I dig it. And let's go down next to Amber.
Hello, I'm Amber. I play Greg, the Goblin Artificer. And I think at the moment, Greg is really wondering if anything lives in this plane that we put that body through and if it's going to eat the body. Probably all that Greg can think about at the moment.
Fair enough.
that's. Tanner wishes to know too.
Fair enough.
It's gonna come back as a mind flayer.
Next, Sarah.
Hey, I'm Sarah, and I'm playing Olive, who's a half-orc druid. And I'm pretty sure the thing that Olive would like to know right now is how best to kill as painfully as possible that mean old dwarf.
Fair enough. Oh, and Tanner. You're up next.
Oh, hi, I'm Tanner. I'm playing Adis, the Human Ranger. And there's a lot of unknowns that are just written into his backstory, so I don't even know which one to pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, what happened to the rest of his people?
Ooh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Look at you picking a real mystery. You and Mike.
Whoa.
Yeah. And
I mean, I have like at least half a dozen literally written to his backstory of things he wants to know.
fair enough. And last but not least, Spoot. Matt, take it away.
Oh, yes, I'm Spootmat, and I think
Sorry.
Spoot would like to know the best fishing spot in the lake. No, although he would like to know that, I think I'll take a page out of Tanner's book. He wants to broadly learn kind of the mysteries of the past and what the spell storms have done to reshape the world.
Ooh, good mysteries you all have there.
I think I used that one like the first or second session, so I didn't want to read it.
I figured ours would probably overlap, actually, to be honest. I almost said to figure out where the heck Adis came from. Oh, and Defect. Oh, yeah, anyway.
Adis wants to know where the hell he came from, so.
When a mommy Adis and a daddy Adis love one another.
1,000 years
Well, I
ago.
think we know that part. Where the hell is my
humans-
village?
Do humans hatch, like, from it?
In a way, yeah.
The stork comes down and just like drops them off, but where they come before that is kind of a mystery.
And we're going to leave that one hanging.
From the stork's beak.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like the baby.
All right. And once again, everyone, I'm Jared. I'm the Dungeon Master here. Big shout out to Dark Startron, who followed us within the last couple of days. So welcome, Dark Startron, to the Newly Forged network family. What are we doing? I don't know. We're something. Whatever.
We
TBD.
don't know.
TBD.
Gang.
All right.
Gaggle? Like a
Gaggle.
gaggle of geese?
Perhaps.
It makes me feel
Murder
elderly
crows.
because that's what I call my residents.
Fair.
Well, I also feel elderly often, so.
Yeah, I got that. I get you. All right. Well, last time on Newly Forged, following the trail of the Red Crows, our heroes made their way to the city of Fayharbor. To get there, they spent a few days traveling the road from Southbrook before coming to a roadblock. This blockade turned out to be a trap set by a small contingent of the Red Crows. A battle ensued, with the party wiping the floor with their ambushers, and Spoot managing to use suggestion to make the final archer surrender. After some begrudging questions, the archer decided to take a chance and run, jumping off the cliff and attempting to get away. Adis and Greg peppered the escaping half-elf with arrows and firebolts, managing to take him down. The party buried the rest and removed the barricade, continuing on. Late the next day, the party has arrived and entered the thriving city of Fayharbor, which is where we pick up. So indeed, you have now entered the city of Fayharbor, and you can see people all around you talking, yelling, waving hello to people. People are hawking stuff in some places. So it is quite a bustling area. You have talked briefly with one guard, a Corporal Bo Keel, and he gave you a few suggestions on places you might want to check out if you're looking for a drink or a book.
I'm gonna I think walk around and then go to the bar and just eavesdrop as much as I can. Because I have ridiculous perception and I can read lips as long as I speak the language.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool.
Observant.
Yeah. I dig it. Why don't you go ahead, Adis? As you're walking around the city, there are a few ways you can go. You've been told about a bar or two in the docks district, and you've been told about them in the open air district.
Open air is the bougie area, right?
It's more like marketplace kind of money is there. Not like rich money, but it is the more upscale area compared to the docks. The docks are, a lot of fishermen and sales, like sailmenders, and cater to that sort of folk.
Salamanders?
Yeah, salamanders.
Definitely.
Both of those sound like fantastic options. I'll start with the open air.
Great.
I think.
Cool.
Gotta go find that library too.
Ew.
Or at least know where it is. I don't know if it'll be open. What time is it again?
It is late afternoon, so who knows?
So we might want to think about where we're going to spend the night.
Yeah.
Library.
If these librarians are anything like normal, they're probably closing shop at like 4.
Oh.
So just like when you get out of school and you're just like, oh my god, I gotta get this book at the library, and they're closed, and your project is due tomorrow. Bitter.
Wow.
Just
okay.
a little.
Wow.
I guess we learned about Tanner's studying habits, didn't we? Okay. Well, so you head on over to the open air market. And kind of as you are walking, or the open air district, I should say, as you're kind of walking that way, you can see that the area that you are walking through, all the buildings are like, most of them have 2 stories. And the second story is usually like set back, but has a balcony that's kind of in line with the front of the lower story. Much akin to how like an aft castle would be on a ship. So it seems like a lot of the architecture here harkens back to ships or other nautical stuff.
I'm gonna buy a house here.
Yeah. The open air district, the streets are pretty well cobbled. There are carts and horses kind of moving around. People off to the side on slightly raised sidewalks. The buildings seem to be more stone than timber. A lot of brick or mortared kind of cobbled stone, which is very not like a new technology or anything by any means, but the fact that they exist already shows that this town has been here for a while, considering most towns and villages haven't had the time to get up and start a lot really since the end of the spell storms. But Adis, since you are kind of walking around, why don't you go ahead, and because of your observant feat, why don't you give me an investigation check with advantage?
Oh, god damn it. Investigation. Um. Oh, that's not bad.
Very nice. Cool. So walking through here, you definitely see on the main street, and you hear people kind of talking about it as well. You see what leads to like a very large meeting hall that kind of towers above most of the other buildings. It seems to be what people are calling the city center, and it's where like the city council meets. And you pick up that it actually is a city council that runs Fayharbor, and not a baron or any kind of nobility. You also hear that people are talking about these council members by the name chairs. So you get the feeling that the position of a council member is called a chair. And it's a lot of people just kind of, griping about the day-to-day kind of stuff. It's like the damn chairs never do anything on time, or everything takes forever when you go that route.
So it sounds like normal politics.
Very much so, yeah. You do also notice a couple of interesting signs along the way that you see. One of them, you see Eversail's open door, which appears to be some kind of general goods kind of supply store. People are going in and out with bushels of things like supplies and whatnot. It seems to be well patronized, so it seems pretty popular.
Okay. Anything on these red crows or any of the names from individuals we've read about, seen, heard?
So on the street, you aren't hearing any talk about a group of red crows. Looking around, you can see that the population is fairly diverse. It is mostly humans, and following humans, there are a fair number of half-orcs, and then half-elves and halflings. You see the occasional gnome, like gaggle, move, but not like a large number, like maybe 3 or 4 gnomes at a time, but very, very rarely. You do see a few tieflings kind of interspersed amongst the crowds, kind of walking around. But you don't see any full-blooded elves, and you don't see any dwarves.
Okay. And there's no talk of dwarves about anything, or if I'm not seeing it?
Not out on the street, but if you go into a bar, who knows what you might find.
Right. Well, clearly this is a city full of bards if there's that many half races.
There are, it is a like sailing kind of port town, except on a lake instead of an ocean.
So sailors instead of bards, but it checks out, right?
Well,
They could be bards. You don't know.
Bardic sailors.
Very charismatic sailors.
I made a bardic sailor once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
it's really good. It's a perfect match.
It's
Lots of sea shanties.
It's
Yes.
all kinds of folk is really what it's coming down to. You
Is
do
anybody
see.
walking with me?
I assume you're all
Or is
together.
everybody-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do we see anything like an armorer or a place where one might get armor repaired? Since I'm carrying around this beat up old armor.
Not in this particular. Well, go ahead, make an investigation check, Olive. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Oh, that'll probably suck.
An 11. Okay, great. You don't catch one in this particular area as you're kind of wandering around, following Adis, kind of searching for a bar. As you are all walking, you do notice a place with a interesting looking name, Adis. It's called the Impressive Feats. And it's got like stars and smoke on the sign.
Is it like a building?
Yeah, is it like...
It's some kind of store or shop or something.
You go in. That
This
looks
place
fun.
looks interesting. Sure.
All right.
I want to know what's so impressive about it.
Yeah, sure. You enter in, and you can immediately tell that there's all kinds of stuff in here. There's things hanging on walls. There's all kinds of boxes and jars kind of behind the counter. And it's got a fairly decently sized floor area, but most of the items for sale seem to be behind the counter, kind of like an old style, like before Piggly Wiggly invented the supermarket, you know?
Oh my god, Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah. Um, so it is full of all kinds of stuff, and the jars are all like weird colors and mismatched, and nothing seems to have any theme running through it. But as you look, you do see an older kind of white hair, red skin, horns that kind of curl back directly over his head, little spectacles on his snout or on his nose. You see a tiefling, fairly old, who looks up as you enter and says, "Oh, hello, welcome to Impressive Feats, the finest purveyor of supplies arcana in all of Fayharbor. I am Conjure. How may I assist you today?"
What's his name? Conjure?
Conjure.
Okay.
Like the eel?
Conjure, as in to conjure something.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't what exactly do you carry here? I haven't seen many magical items.
Well, magical items are pretty rare. I have a few trinkets that perhaps might pique your interest and curiosity, but mainly I supply the material components one might need for various feats of arcane stuff, arcane endeavors. I also have a few small magical items, such as have been sold to me and turned over and whatnot.
Can we all come inside together?
It's up to
I
you.
would assume
I
so.
assume.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked in with Greg.
It's okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to go in there.
I
I
feel
thought
like
of the
we're
group.
now
Sounds
probably
cool.
filling the small shop.
Yeah, with all of you in here, there's still enough room. Like, you're not like crammed, but it's, you know, it's not a like massive sprawling thing. It's fairly small.
Should probably be careful turning around.
Yes.
Now, who amongst you are you all practitioners of the art, or are some of you interested, looking for supplies or components? I have a sale going on sulfur and bat droppings.
I don't think I need any of that.
I'm not sure I do either.
But what's that? I pick the weirdest looking thing in a jar and point at it.
Ah, that is the reproductive gland of a displacer beast.
Whoa, that's really cool. Hey, you want to see something neat? Here, I have a piece of chimera flesh in this vial.
Ah, chimera flesh, you say? May I inspect it?
Yes. Just
So,
don't break it. I like it.
oh, of course not. So he kind of takes it, and you all kind of see his eyes kind of flash purple for an instant, which is weird because his eyes are normally silver, so they just suddenly like shift over purple. Yes, indeed, the flesh from a chimera, less than 2 weeks old. Or at least the flesh is. I'm not sure how old the actual creature was, but
You killed a baby chimera.
most impressive. Are you looking to sell?
That's worth money? I just thought it was cool.
I will sell you. I will pay you 2 silver for such an item.
I don't know. Pretty cool. You were obviously really impressed. I don't know if I could do just 2 silver.
Make a persuasion check.
When you gonna see a... How do I do this again? Who am I? Whenever you're gonna see
Spike
a...
slap Can Spoot slap some guidance like on Greg or
Oh,
something?
Too
no.
late.
It's too late. They have already begun their haggling process.
I could tell they were going to need it.
Yeah.
With a 6, the tiefling kind of redirects his silver eyes from the chimera vial to Yuzik. I'm so sorry. I understand that you are reticent to sell such an item. It can be useful for a variety of things, but I'm afraid I do have to cap my limit at 2 silver. So,
That's fine. What kind of variety of things? That makes me curious.
well, chimeras being the sort of monstrous things that they are, their bodies have multiple pieces to them, and as such, they are parts of their skin can be used as material components in some shape-shifting or transmutation spells.
Whoa.
I'm going to show him this 4 pounds of rhino horn I'm carrying around.
Okay. So you
You're
haul
an
out.
ivory trader now? Is that what you are?
So you haul out this piece of ivory. He's like, "Oh, that is a very impressive piece of." And he kind of looks at it. Ivory, yes. For a piece that size, I could buy it from you for 2 gold.
I mean, it's in decent shape. It's 4 pounds. It's a fairly sizable chunk of horn.
I agree. Are you attempting to persuade him to up his price? If so, roll a persuasion check.
I will try. I don't think it's going to be. Oh, I did better than Greg.
With a 12, he kind of looks at you. He's like, well, I suppose after I do have to do a lot of work to it. But I suppose I could throw in another silver.
All right, it's just heavy, and I'm carrying it around. So sure.
Ah, wonderful. And he kind of puts out his hands, which you notice his hands have a lot of like pock marks and scars on them. As though like he either got burned or something exploded near his hands at some point in the past.
So I just realized I'm still carrying a displacer beast tentacle.
Me too.
These random.
And I have displacer beast claws. I don't know. Until he said displacer beast, I was like, oh wait, my inventory.
I will also remind you, you've had those things for a while.
I mean, the claws
How
wouldn't
did you
go bad.
preserve them?
So
Because we don't have any way to.
Yeah,
2
so
gold and a silver?
yeah, he takes the rhino horn, and you get 2 gold and 1 silver.
Great.
I'll give him the claws. See if he wants them.
Oh, the claws of a displacer beast are impressive, certainly. If you've defeated such creatures, you can appreciate why. But in terms of magical components, they don't really have much of a market here.
Wait, so
Jewelers might find use for them.
what exactly is it? Because I don't think I rolled high enough to know what it was. So just like Adis asking, what's a displacer beast?
So a displacer beast is a monstrous creature that has a effect that they generate, which makes them appear to be in multiple places at any given point in time. It makes them very difficult to hit, and if properly skinned and prepared, their body parts can be quite valuable. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them, especially if you can get an entire intact pelt and preserve it appropriately. It is possible to manufacture a very useful cloak or cape.
Interesting. Yeah, because I remember that thing was very hard to hit.
Oh yes, they
I think-
are
I think
extremely.
Greg is the one that killed it.
Oh well.
Really remember. But
I
I have a
remember
piece
you-
of it too.
I remember you nat 20'd it real hard.
I'm glad you remember that. Someone should remember my heroic deeds.
Well,
I
my
also remember
heartiest
you being chased by a
congratulations.
bush.
Don't want to talk about that.
Well, my heartiest congratulations to you, regardless of the fact. Defeating a displacer beast is most impressive. Sad that you don't have much more than these claws, but that's all right. Is there anything you are looking to purchase? Perhaps you need diamonds or pearls or diamond dust? I have all sorts of powdered gemstones.
Well,
Hold on,
actually, and Spoot's gonna pull out like a grocery list.
Oh,
I
oh,
mean, I
yes.
do. I just don't have that much money.
Yeah, I should check how much money I have. That is one of Spoot's probably flaws. He's like, I need these things. Oh wait,
Pay the
money?
list and we'll see how much Greg can help you out.
Oh, and these are kind of ordered in terms of importance. So we don't have to get them all in one day.
Well, what's at the top of your list? Perhaps I can help.
Well, I have been searching for a focus of some kind, perhaps a horn for hearing, or maybe like an eyeglass.
Mm-hmm.
Anything of that nature? I think it would have to be quite nice, with jewels, perhaps, or made of a fine metal.
Let me see what I can find. What exactly are you looking for, so the DM knows?
Right. It's a focus worth 100 gold, jeweled horn, or a glass eye. It is a component for clairvoyance.
Got it.
Level
Got it.
spell.
Okay. Very well. For a clairvoyance spell, yes?
I should just say that, shouldn't I? This guy knows.
I mean, it helps me to know what you're looking for.
I mean, but the character knows too. Like he's obviously.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Just give me one moment. And he kind of turns around and walks over back to like a shelf on the side and kind of opens a box, pulls out a drawer, closes it, opens another part of the box, fiddles around in there. You hear a few clinks and tinks. And he pulls out an eye. It looks like a false, like a glass eye. But upon closer inspection, it's got a ribbon of color that runs through it.
Ooh.
It's some kind of crystal that
Very nice.
has a red streak kind of running through it. It says, this crystallized agate can be very useful for what you are attempting to do, and I am happy to sell it to you for 100 gold pieces.
Before you do that, I have a quick question.
Sure.
I also get clairvoyance but I get it at level 9, so it's like gonna be a bit. But I'm just curious if he has that. I could technically use it, like if I ask. It's not like a
Yeah, the spell doesn't consume it, so.
right. I'm just curious.
You just have to. It's a focus.
Right. Okay. I just didn't know if like
I mean,
some materials couldn't be like exchanged or something like that.
I would argue that maybe my
Yeah.
augury set I couldn't loan out to just anyone, but I think something like this.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah. It depends, but a lot of things you can like trade amongst you if you need to.
Mm-hmm. I'll chip in 50 gold because I get access to that as well.
Oh, well, that's excellent. Well, we'll take it. I'll contribute 50 gold as well, and Boot's not one for haggling, obviously.
Yep. Okay, great. So you pass over 50 gold each, and he gives you this eye. You can now mark that you have a crystallized agate eye, like glass eye thing, for your clairvoyance spell.
Okay. And I've got the rest of my list here, which I'm happy to go through. Not necessarily all in RP if I don't want to.
Yeah.
What I did last
So
week.
what are you looking for?
I'm also looking for some. Maybe I should just tell you the spell, and then you know the components. The components for, I think it's Magic Circle, which includes holy water or powdered and silver iron worth 100 GP.
Okay.
And I got to be honest, for some reason, We already got Revivify, so I guess I got that checked off. Possibly a pair of platinum rings. They're 50 gold each. Very expensive shopping list. But that would help me with the Warding Bond spell if I ever needed to cast that.
Okay.
And I'm honestly, for some reason, not finding what I needed the gold dust for, which is very confusing. And I don't think I've already bought it, so I know I asked for it before. I'll go back over and see if I can find what that is.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's see if he has the stuff for Magic Circle. He does. He is happily able to sell you. Well, how much do you want? Do you just want one casting's worth?
Yes. I don't think I have enough money to.
All right. Then he will sell you a little bag full of powdered silver and iron. He'll sell it to you for 120 gold pieces.
I must admit I'm not full of cash today. Is there any way I could talk you down?
What do you need this for? I mean, I can help if it's useful. I don't know what that spell does.
Make a persuasion roll, Spoot.
And I am going to attempt to. I don't think there's a verbal component, so I'm going to attempt to give myself guidance without.
Yeah, I would say you can guide yourself on pretty much anything you want. So.
Always persuasion.
Wait, what spell are you trying to get?
And I'm gonna have to. You'll have to trust me on that because I have. I'm rolling in beyond, but it doesn't. I'm using a different browser today, so it doesn't link. So anyway, I rolled a 12 plus a 2 for 14.
14. Okay.
Oh, and I did not roll my before yet. Sorry.
Yeah, you can just use the die roller in Roll20 as well.
I guess that would be that'd probably be easier then. Well, that was only a 1 on the D4, so it's 15 total.
Yep. Okay, cool. So 15, he says, well, I suppose I could come down to 105 gold.
I'll take that. That's I think that's reasonable. To answer Spoot's question as I'm making this exchange, all right, I gotta figure out how to clear off all those numbers off my screen.
He also does have a pair of fairly nice looking platinum rings. Wow. They are very, very intricate though. And he quotes their price because they're very intricate. They're carved. They're filigreed. He quotes their price at 110 gold pieces each.
110 for the pair. Oh yeah, that's not a bad deal.
No, 220 for the pair.
For the no.
They are
so
very nice platinum rings. I rolled a D100 and I rolled 100. So
that's right. I was trying to RP with him about that, but
gotcha.
Oh well, no, I'm so sorry. That's another time. Another time.
That is, I understand. Sometimes the spell components we desire are out of our reach for a time period. I have spent time in that situation myself, so I understand.
Oh, perhaps if I ever pass through this way again, I'll have to keep that on my shopping list.
And he puts them away. By all means, it would be wonderful to sell these to you at some point.
Well, hey. What about these? And I pull out my 300 gold's worth of bejeweled trinkets. Are these useful? Valuable? Can help?
They might be valuable to people who collect them or sell such items. Not myself. They are not useful spell components. So,
I mean, but the jewels? Okay. Well, I tried.
the
But
jewels
it's okay.
are
No,
nice, but buying a bit of bit of jewelry and prying it apart and then pulverizing the jewels is a little bit more time consuming than I wish to deal with. It's much easier just to buy the gems straight and then deal with it.
That's
there
fair.
aren't any diamonds in there, are there, Grick, by any chance?
No, not in these.
Do you need some diamonds as well?
Oh, on the list is...
We have one, don't we?
We do. But I do have something on the list for the Glyph of Warding spell that is... it's powdered diamond. And my understanding is it can be quite expensive, the amount of diamond dust it needs. So I'm not sure if that's a high priority right now. But it would be nice to know if you have
diamonds are very rare, you understand, and powdering them takes a lot of work.
Correct, yeah.
They're very hard by natures, but I do have some.
Well, perhaps I should best wait on
I
that.
would say
I
I probably have about 600 gold worth of powdered diamonds available.
Oh, excellent. Well, if the need arises, I'll keep that in mind. I understand that the spell consumes all of that at once, so it would take a lot to...
Yes, powdered gemstones are usually consumed by magic.
Oh well, I think I'm satisfied for today. Still haven't found what I needed 25 gold worth of something
Arcane
for.
lock.
No.
Do we have any doors that we need locked?
Oh, that's only a wizard, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do get a few spells that are not normal cleric spells, but they're usually to deal with your mind. Okay. No, I think I'm satisfied. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh,
of course, absolutely. It is my pleasure to be of service to those who seek to better themselves in the arts arcane.
I do have a question for the DM, though.
Yeah.
One of my spells does require a small clay model ziggurat. It does not have a gold component, but it did seem out of the ordinary.
So the way spellcasting works, if you have a arcane focus or a spellcasting focus, that takes the place of all material components that do not have a gold cost. So your holy symbol
would just kind of stuck out.
Yeah, I mean it's for flair because you don't need to have. Some people like to play their characters with where they don't have a focus. They actually use the material components. They have a component pouch instead of a spellcasting focus.
Gotcha.
It's just a choice.
Oh yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
I was gonna have Greg make me a clay model.
I mean, you can still have one. Like that's fine.
No, I was just
cool.
Okay.
Adis, as you're kind of looking around the shop, you do notice a couple of things on a shelf on the back. It appears like he's got a set of 3 books that look interesting.
I mean, I'll look at them. Not a bookie person.
When I say they look interesting, like they're back behind the shelf, so you can't like go out and reach them. But all the covers are extremely like decorated, and they look to be like part of a set.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Before I do anything, I just want to see if I have. No, I don't have it. Okay. Sir, what are those up on the shelf? They look very ornate.
Oh, they are. Those are mystic training manuals.
Oh?
Yes. If you are able to successfully study the contents of a book in time, you gain the ability to do something that you weren't necessarily good at before. It teaches you how to do them, and then you have it forever.
Can you what's them like, or that's like?
Well, I have 3 here. I have the Book of the Nimbled Body, of the Nimble-Bodied. I have, yes, the Book of the Nimbled Body. It contains numerous exercises and practices for becoming limber and more agile. I have the Book of Tricks and Guile, which contains numerous secrets on how to influence people to your own ends. And I also have the Book of Knowledgeable Mysteries. This book has all sorts of tidbits and tricks for recalling information. Now, I would use them myself, but once you read them, they become inert for about 50 years or so. To be fair, I read them in my youth, which is why I had them. And they have only recently become available again. So
So we keep
How much?
Yeah.
they are quite expensive. Well over 10,000 gold.
Mm. Do you need any errands run?
Not at the
Mysterious
moment.
components delivered? That kind of thing?
Well, always, but nothing particularly urgent at this moment in time. But certainly if you come across something particularly rare and mystical or valuable, you are welcome to come back and perhaps an arrangement can be made.
Oh, Spook will shout out. I just realized what the other spell component was.
A mystic tome?
Yes.
Are you going to tell us?
Oh, I'm sorry. What were y'all talking? I'm so sorry. I was looking over my notes. Non-detection. I need the components for non-detection. So it's just some diamond dust, but not as much.
Ah, very well. Let's see. Non-detection. How much do you need for it?
I would like to see if they have at least 2 component worth of it.
Yeah, he's got 600 gold worth of diamond dust.
Oh, that's right, of course. So he definitely does. Should I just get 3? I'll get 3.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. He says, very well. I can certainly provide you with that. And he kind of goes over to a container and takes out a big stopper and has this long-handled little spoon with a big kind of cup on the bottom that he kind of dips in. And it seems like he's very accurate in the measurements, kind of measuring it out into 3 separate little like parchment baggies. Kind of folds it on up, brings them over. He says, that will be 80 gold for the 3 pinches of diamond dust.
Fine work. Here's your 80 gold. Thank you, sir.
It is a pleasure. And by all means, if you happen to think of anything else you might need, do come by, as we are always willing to serve those striving for impressive feats.
Yes.
I look back at Greg and say, "Yo, we're talking about books, weren't you?"
I want
Yeah,
that
they're too
nimble book.
expensive, but I want it. It sounds like it's how to persuade your friends for dummies.
I'm gonna put that on the shopping
I want
list.
I want the guide for yoga.
A guide for yoga. I couldn't find that spell for some reason because it is one of my always prepared spells. So I forgot to check it for components. But I wrongfully assumed that all of my always prepared ones were component free. But
Free?
yeah.
Nope, not today. Sunshine, not today.
If
All
only
right.
that was the case, because then life clerics would always have Revivify for free.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Right.
Details.
There you go. Do we have enough diamond? Do we have one? We have one.
I have a revivified diamond, and you have a pearl.
I
if
do
I'm not
have a pearl.
mistaken.
Okay. Unless there's anything else, you all depart the impressive
Thank him
feats.
nicely and move on.
I would hang back just for a moment as everybody leaves.
Mhm.
How much experience do you have with magic items? Because I mean, you seem fairly knowledgeable of things.
Well, I am I know my way around them. I suppose I'm not sure what you mean exactly.
Adis is gonna take off his necklace that he hides under his armor,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna like hold it out. I don't know if this is broken or not.
So he goes, interesting. And you see his eyes, those silver orbs, flash purple once again. Ah, well, this is interesting. I haven't seen one of these in a few years. It is a bonded paired necklace. It's one of two, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was told it's always supposed to point to the other one. Sometimes it'll point, other times it'll start floating and spin, and then it just goes limp.
Ah, yes. Well, you see, the enchantment of these items usually lasts for your normal duration, which, well, supposedly is for however long the bonded pair is together. As long as both pieces exist, it works. They get a little wonky if you take them to different planes and that sort of thing, but barring that being the case, any amount of pressure prevents them from pointing to their mate. So if you wear it under your armor as you do, you wouldn't always know if it was pointing or tugging.
Well, I mean,
The other thing about them is sometimes the enchantments differ a little bit. By which I mean sometimes they always kind of point and pull off, and sometimes they only work when they are actually being worn. If wherever the other piece is, the match is, the person is only keeping it in a box, for example, or it's on the bottom of a floor, then it won't necessarily work all the time. It depends on who made it and how skilled they are at the art. But you say this has worked appropriately before.
it did. It has. It's it worked when I wasn't wearing it. I would just, hold it in my hand and it would point, or I would just have it on my neck and kind of hold it and it would
Yes,
point.
but you had it
But
in your possession. You were touching it at some point.
yes, but then it was pointing and then it just drops. Or it just starts spinning aimlessly, and I don't know if it's broken or like, because it definitely gives a definite direction. Occasionally, it's not consistent. It's not, at a certain time every day. It's just random, and so I don't know if there's something wrong with it.
Is the direction always consistent?
Is it, Jared? I forget. I didn't write it down.
It seemed to be, to the best of your knowledge.
Yeah. But then it vanishes, and I can't.
Well,
since it doesn't tell distance, I don't know how far.
Of course. Well, from what I can tell, I believe that it is working properly. But wherever the other one is, it is not always being worn or held. If it has responded as it is supposed to do, then someone has been holding it at that time or wearing it at that time. Of course, it could also have just, it, not to be impolite, but if someone put it on a dog, it would also point towards that dog. So if...
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like that would be the case, but are you sure, like, I don't know if you can see if the enchantment is still fine, because after it's been hit with something like strong magic, like a spell storm.
well, spell storms do have an unpredictable bit of magic in them. That's sort of their nature.
You can say that again.
Yes. Well, I don't think I need to. But anyway, as far as I can tell, this is working perfectly fine.
Okay.
I notice you waited behind while your friends went outside. Do they not know of this?
It's nothing to really bother them. It's more of a... I just want to know if I can hope or not.
Well, I am happy to purport to you that it works. Like, it is working to wherever this this matched pair is. It does respond to it. Perhaps if these were in a spell storm, the magic has altered slightly, but they are working, or it is working. So,
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
of course, I am happy to help. And by all means,
I was...
if you ever want these books, just come back with some gold, and happy to sell.
Next time we kill a dragon, I'll stop by.
Next time,
I'll just walk out.
okay.
Oh, there you are. We didn't know where to go. What were you doing in there? Come on, let's go find a drink.
It was a shiny thing,
That
probably.
sounds great, actually.
Okay.
Um,
What's up, Spoot?
Never mind. I'm gonna wait.
Okay. All right. So you are heading towards the tavern, which was called Above Decks in the open air district.
That's cute.
Let's roll.
Cool. Yeah. So you get it. You get there, and you can see that it is a large 2-storied building. It's kind of got a patio kind of in front of it, kind of like, outside of restaurants on the streets of New York kind of deal. It's got a little fenced in patio.
They serve brunch.
Is everything 6
Yeah.
feet apart?
It's the before times, so they don't have to be.
What? I don't remember those.
Yeah, well, here we are.
Good days. The good old days.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, yes. It is pretty busy. There's people outside. You can tell there's people inside. The clientele seems to be well dressed, not necessarily like super fancy, but they've made an effort to appear presentable at least. A quick glance around for those of you who have I would say a quick glance around for Adis and Spoot. You can tell that a lot of these people seem to be either merchants or like business owners, or maybe like officers on a ship as opposed to just like deckhands. So it's not like nobility, but it's people who are,
Cleaner than we are.
yeah.
Not my kind of people.
Adis just looks at these people, then looks down at his like really shoddy studded leather armor.
Greg's gonna just like breathe on the brooch, holding the blanket on as a cloak, and just stride it off a
Wearing the
little.
blanket.
Mm-hmm.
My cloak.
I think Spoot does feel very out of place suddenly. He's like, oh, I definitely stand out.
Do you enter through the patio?
Yes.
As they enter, I'm actually going to say, I will try to catch up with everyone later if this is a good place to meet. I think I'm going to try to find the library.
Okay.
I mean, okay, I want to go too, but like, not. I need a drink. We haven't been in a proper place with a proper bar with proper food. Not that I ever really ate that back home, but it's a thing now. I like it.
Why don't you can ask someone here really quick where the library is instead of trying to wander aimlessly, unless that's your point. Which if you want to wander aimlessly, like no judgment.
That's a good point. I don't think I want to wander aimlessly here.
It looks like there's some city guards, so you can ask them.
Let's have a drink.
That guy was
feel
friendly.
free- Defect 2 will try to tag along with Spoot.
What is this barbarian that wants to go to the library?
He reads
I love it.
So
He has
I love it.
feelings.
I'm
so
gonna.
so
like
you're all
multiclassing
going
barbarian.
inside, or
He's-
you're splitting off? I just
I
wanna
think they're
confirm.
going
Oh.
inside to ask directions.
Yes.
And then
Defect.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure I'm wanting a drink, but if the rest of the party wants to have one, but I think Adis makes a good point. Maybe we could ask for directions, and then you and I can go off and try to find this library.
Sounds like a
We're
good
all
idea.
going in.
All right, cool. So you all enter the above decks.
and attempt not to hit anyone with our assorted weaponry and things sticking out of our packs.
Sure. Well, when you enter, you are instantly noticed by people at all the tables and the booths, most of which are filled and crowded. It's a veritable kerfuffle, and yeah, there's chatter all around. There's people talking. But nobody stops you. A few eyes definitely heads turn and notice you, but nobody is like preventing you from entering.
is there anything interesting that they're saying?
You can make an investigation check. Yeah.
I just reached for my actual dice. Jesus Christ. Ah, 17 again.
Great. Cool. All right. Cool.
Is it anything like interesting or just shady?
Yeah. So as you are all kind of walking up to the bar, you definitely hear off at one table. You hear the words. You hear the words that halfling, and then you hear that new Baron Greyclaw. And then you hear purchased. It's very loud, so it's hard to pick out a lot of the words. But those are things that you do pick up off of one table.
Can I turn to that tape? Like, is there anywhere seating that I can like observe that table? Like, does it look like there's any seats?
There's no real like open tables because it's very crowded. You guys are here like, at like dinner drinking time, so it's pretty crowded.
Right.
There are like some empty seats at the bar, and other people are like standing in groups around places. It's happy hour in New York. People are standing around.
Gotcha. Because I was gonna say I would love to eavesdrop on them the whole evening.
Yeah, they may stick around for a while.
Hang on. Do you tell me this?
I mean, as soon as we're kind of like, not super close to them, I would say I heard that table say something about Baron Greyclaw buying something. But I don't see any open tables to kind of like eavesdrop nearby.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I could try to do. Okay. I have enhance ability. I could try to like up your, like make you better at listening. Like I guess so up wisdom, so perception would be higher.
Would it
You
be
get
perception
advantage.
or investigation if I'm trying to continue eavesdropping and reading lips?
No, now that you have like found a clue, you could use perception.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't
Damn
mind that.
intelligence wisdom thing.
That could help.
Let's try it. Psst. Here you go. Boop.
All right. So you cast the spell. Meanwhile, you have made it to the bar, and there is this very tall, large gentleman, kind of in like a tight fitting pea coat. Looks like it might be a little bit small for him. Like maybe it used to fit him really well, and now he's kind of like put on a couple pounds. But he smiles wide and he says, "Ah, I know the adventurous type when I see them. Welcome to Above Decks. I am
We're not
former
adventurers.
captain, now owner, Vidar Gransept. Welcome to my bar. How can
You said-
I get you? How can I get you all set up for your drinking this evening? Huh?
You said Vidar with a V.
Vidar, yes, with a V.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, what liquors do you have?
We have some of the finest selections in all of Fayharbor. What are you?
Okay.
Are you looking for something cheap and plentiful to drink? Are you looking for something that will really knock you on your ass? What are you in the mood for? Hmm?
Not cheap, but I'm not looking. What time is it right now?
It's equivalent to like 6:37.
Not not looking to forget anything just yet. So let's start out with.
This is Tanner's lead.
Do
He
do you
leads the
have
bar.
like a call brand?
Very well, like a nice mid-range something. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Very well. Would you want local or imported?
Let's start with local.
A wise and adventurous choice. Stay right here. And he turns around and comes back a few moments later with a it's like a whiskey style glass, like a tumbler kind of thing. Sorry, I don't remember glass terminology.
Highball.
Highball. There's a highball, and he pours in it about like a finger's worth of like a very dark liquid.
Like what kind of dark? Like rum dark or whiskey dark?
Like almost black, like almost Jaeger.
Ooh,
Yeah,
high school man.
yeah.
Okay.
So he pours that in. That will be 4 silver.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, give me a pint of ale, will you?
Very well.
So demanding.
That will be 1 silver.
You happen to have a nice, like, plummy berry wine, something like a little bit sweet, but like not too sweet, with good body.
Yes. Unfortunately, we only sell it by the bottle.
Okay.
All right. That will be 11 gold.
Done.
Is Greg of drinking age in this
11
game?
gold.
And he puts before you, Greg, a bottle that is thin but tall and like delicately made, and it's probably about 16 inches tall. It's
Oh wow.
it's only about like this much around, so it's not like a big honkin' like Costco brand wine bottle. It's like a very thin, cordial bottle. But he puts it in front of you, takes your gold,
Okay.
no problem.
Great.
I feel
Glass,
like
please. Actually, never mind. Unless somebody else wants to taste.
He also did provide a very thin kind of fluted bit of glassware.
Ooh, yeah, I'll probably break that. Thanks.
oh, we have our mess kits. You could just pour it into your mess kit cup.
I'll just sip it. Don't worry. Is it good?
It is very good. Yeah, it is
good.
high quality. It's high quality cordial.
Is my drink actually Jaeger?
So back to Adis.
Constitution saving throw.
Adis, you pick it up and you are immediately hit by this very kind of like almost dank odor.
Go on.
It looks like I said, it looks almost black, and it has a almost like something deep underground or something like from deep in the water. Like there's a depth to it. It's an interesting sort of aroma. But Vardit or Vidar rather, you see that's made from the deep squid.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Yes, it is fermented squid ink. We call it the Black Depths.
Interesting.
Made local right here in Fayharbor.
This doesn't stain my mouth, right?
I wouldn't worry about that.
Okay. I'm not trying to have like eyeliner on my lips too. Um,
I mean, people do
So-
drink it, and he kind of points, and you do see there are people who have glasses of this stuff.
Okay. Our friends here, the um, defect and spoot would like to go to the library. Do you know where that is?
Oh, of
From here?
course, of course. The Library of Three, you must mean. Yes, it is. It is over in the well, it's in the open air district, so it's not too far away. And he kind of gives you directions of about a 10 to 15-minute walk. It also, of course, doubles as a shrine to Ayun, so there's that. If you're looking for some religious services, pardon me.
Thank you.
It's not like I don't
Defect,
partake in my own bar.
would you like a drink before we go to the library?
Indeed,
I hate to miss
I
out
have
on this.
never served two fine individuals like yourselves before. Tell me, I am unfamiliar with what either of you are, but I would be happy to serve such fine, upstanding people.
Oh, I'm not sure this one, and I'll look at Defect. I'm not sure if he has a favorite, so I'll let him speak for himself. I, for one, I would like to try some rum if you've got anything local.
Ah, we do. Yeah, absolutely. Here we go.
Just a taste.
Yeah, he pulls out a local rum. It's about 2 gold for like a glass of rum.
Defect, you wanna try this with me? I know this is always an experiment for you.
Gladly.
Well, Spoot, do you want to try the squid ink?
No, I'm gonna
know you like
stick
fish.
to the rum. I not that kind. I'm gonna stick to the rum though. Thank you, and I'm
So
gonna pass over.
that'll be 2 rums then, eh?
Oh, just the one, and
Yes.
I'll give him 2 gold. Oh, 2. You want another? Okay then, and I'll give him 4 gold.
Very well. He provides you with 2 glasses of rum and takes your 4 gold.
All right. I'll grab it and I'll look at Defect and I'll say, bottoms up. Although I don't recommend drinking it all at once, perhaps. I'll take a little sip.
Well, he could have some like super robot liver.
Yeah,
That's true. He has basically been there.
yeah. It is a sweet tasting, burning, sensation-y rum. It's yeah. It is well made, as though whoever made it cares about the product. Which is
Okay.
true across like all of your beverages, even your simple ale. It seems like he has discerning taste and only sells such things.
So we should get a house in the
I-
city
I-
right near the bar.
I don't drink much, but if I am going to drink, I do appreciate when some care has been taken. And this is excellent rum, so thank you.
It is my pleasure, of course, and I always like serving the odd adventurer and wanderer who comes in here. I can tell that you are impressive folk, just by your dress and the wear on your armor. You must have battled your way here through all kinds of tale and interesting stories, yeah? Hmm?
We've scraped by a couple of times. Been fun.
Excellent.
Um,
I would love to hear about them sometime.
I'm afraid I'll have to leave before the story start. I'm gonna try to find the library once I finish my rum. I'd like
Oh,
to,
well,
at
it's
this point-
always open, so there's no issue about that.
Oh, perfect.
Ayun believes
Yeah.
that knowledge cannot be maintained by the sun and the daylight, so.
I like her already. I like them already.
I mean, I believe that she
I'm-
is female identifying.
I didn't
I-
ask. I shouldn't make an assumption.
I suppose she is a deity, so, whatever.
I don't. Yeah.
Spoot,
it
if you
doesn't
have a
really-
vision, just ask her pronouns. Their pronouns.
That's a good point. At this point, I would like to pull Adis aside, and like on my way out, they're like, "Oh, okay, well, thank you," and then say, "It's come to my attention that we do obviously stand out. I don't know what you've heard in the bar, but Might be worth looking out for people to see if they've noticed us. I don't think it'll take long for a word to travel if someone's picked up that we're here.
I'm not planning on drinking too much, and I see pretty much everything. So
Yeah, Adis, as you are
Good.
having this conversation with Spoot, you can see like 3 different tables are all like pointing at your little party. And like
I'm sure that our
and
presence
gossiping
is-
about them.
I'm sure our presence is probably going to be well known very soon.
Yeah.
And I'm
Olive
going to
is
say out loud.
putting her back to the bar and keeping an eye on what's going on and not.
Yeah, go ahead and make a
Hello.
perception check, Olive.
just for concern's sake, just while you're gone, this'll if I'm not mistaken, with Hunter's mark, I can detect the mark, and
I believe within whatever the range is, right? Like, what's the range?
no,
on it?
they have to be 90 feet for me to cast it. But
Okay.
if they travel outside of that, but like if someone goes unconscious, I believe like I would know if the mark dissipates. Correct?
The mark doesn't dissipate when a creature goes unconscious,
Okay.
because you can move it off of an unconscious creature onto another.
Right.
It,
Okay.
it doesn't tell you anything but where they are. It doesn't tell you their status, whether they're alive or dead.
Gotcha. I mean, that's good enough. I'll put Hunter's mark on Spoot,
Okay.
Oh, it tickles.
just so I can.
So, so
You can't see it. There's
so,
just a red bullseye in the middle of your forehead
yeah.
now.
That will stand out for sure.
No, you can't see it. I'm the only one that can see it.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, if we're talking about being inobtrusive, that doesn't seem.
Yes.
I just like
my-
touch Spoot on the head now. There's just like a laser pointer kind of bead right there.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
It'll just let me know where you are, at least for the next 2 hours.
Excellent. Well,
Uh,
I am going to try to lay low as much as we can. Meet back where in 2 hours' time?
I would say just come back here. We'll be here.
Have we made reservations for rooms? Or are we planning on
No.
staying here? This is just
I
a.
don't
This is
think
only
so.
to Adis. This is only to Adis.
I'm
I'm
not there. I'm just
sure
drinking.
yet. Do you have that spell that you can message people over distances?
I do, but I didn't prepare it for the journey today. I was already thinking that I probably should have. I only have so many 3rd level slots. This is out of character. Like, they're precious.
Fine. I would say maybe just head back here, in and out, like for the 2 hour mark, and then if anything changes, we'll come to the library.
Okay. Well, and then I'll turn and I'll say out loud now. Okay, Defect. Well, let's go find that library.
Tanner really wishes that there was like smoking and Adis had a cigarette, because that's how Tanner eavesdrops when I'm at the bar. And if they're out on the patio, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a tobacco equivalent here. But there may be other things that can be smoked. Who knows?
Ooh.
Cool. But nobody in the bar is like doing such things. There's no like cigarettes or cigars in this bar, at any rate.
Greg, do you know what would be really fun?
What?
How sneaky are you?
Kind of. Fairly.
What if we find some drunk patron later and pour some of the mushroom liqueur in their drink?
Okay. Wait, no. That sounds gross.
No, but it makes them hallucinate, and it could be really funny.
I mean, only if we stay to watch. Are we really gonna stay to watch?
I think
I mean,
so.
I guess. Oh,
we got
okay.
2 hours to kill.
I mean, sure. I guess that's true. Are they really gonna be gone?
They're going to
I
the
wanna-
library.
Oh.
I have a tracking spell on Spoot, so I'll know where they are.
Okay, that's good. Because I want to finish this. I like this. This is tasty. Yeah, all right. Here, I'll do it. Let's go. Give me that.
Plus, this is a good place. I heard that information, so I want to stay here and listen. And see what
Yeah,
else
that's what I wanted to do too, but I want to go to the library. But I guess I'm here. I'm going to drink this. Here, give me the thing. I'm going to go do it.
I'm gonna ask for just a shot glass, and then pour a little bit of the mushroom liquor in it and hand it over to Greg.
Cool.
You want me
So
to do it?
you go to pour the stuff, and Vidar's like, "Hey, what's that there?"
It's something a group of goblins gave us.
Want to try it?
I don't recommend you try it.
Well, not to be
Oh, you're
nothing, but
working.
I'm very particular about what's drank in my tavern.
It leads to a great time.
I'll be the judge of that. And so he takes
Damn it.
the thing and pours.
There's your experiment.
He takes it, drinks it.
If you're working, I would just be
Oh my god!
careful.
He pounds it back, and like he didn't even use the shot glass. He just like straight up to the bottle.
And
like,
just
you
like,
see-
wide eye look at Greg.
You see him take like gug multiple swallows, slams it back down.
Give it a minute. Give it
Spongy.
a minute. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Just you might want to sit down.
Nah.
I recommend you sit down.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not that amazing. And he seems completely unaffected.
Okay.
He rolled a natural 20 on his Constitution saving throw.
Okay. It I last time I drank it around the campfire, I was seeing things for a few hours. And it's a fun time.
Sounds like you need to learn to hold your liquor there.
I mean, it had been quite a while since I really drank. At that point.
It's got an interesting flavor, but the texture is a little off-putting. It's a little grainy and a little flit and a little bits of flagellum or something in there. Feel like their filtration needs some work.
It was made by goblins.
Well, that's no reason they can't have some pride in what they're doing. Like I say, they didn't do a bad job. It's not bad. The taste is fine. It just needs a little refinement.
Mm-hmm.
Told you it's not good. It's gross.
I mean, I can see the appeal that certain people might have of it.
Olive is just going to roll her eyes.
Cool. Meanwhile, Olive, as you are paying attention to everything, with a 21 on your perception check, you do notice a few things. You notice the table that Adis pointed out earlier is, or that caught his attention earlier. You notice that the two individuals there are very well dressed and seem to be very engaged in a variety of topics of conversation, and they never seem to stop talking. So they seem to flow like seamlessly in conversation. You know how people are somehow able to carry on conversations and one of them is eating and then stops to add something and the other one eats? It is like a delicate dance between these two. And you kind of get the sense that they're probably like professional gossips or something. Like,
I would love that job.
Like they just talk about everything and everybody. And they've definitely been glancing in the way of your group, especially Greg, Spoot, and Defect. And they definitely watched as Defect and Spoot left. And then kind of were gesturing and talking about... You get the sense that they were talking about them. It's so loud that you can't like hear the words, but they were obviously a topic of conversation.
Well, so much for flying under the radar.
Oh, you guys stick out. You're not humans.
What are you? What are they talking about? Should I be listening? I'm not good at listening.
I mean, you can make a perception check.
I will endeavor to do so. No, you know what? I'm going to look more closely at them and try to figure out, like, a little more, like, who they might actually be, right? Sure, I don't make the professional gossip deduction, but, like, is one of them just like some rich guy? Is one of them, like, a little bit of a sailor? Is something, you know what I mean? I want to figure out more about who they might be.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Okay, that's not any better. I was hoping for investigation. that's okay. A 3 is about right.
They're two fancy folks. That's best you got.
Ah,
Vidar,
Hi, what can I do for you?
who are those people over there?
Ah, they're just some people. They come in here every now and again. Usually about once a week or so.
Just from hearing their conversation, they seem to know a lot going on.
Oh, well, they are a gossipy pair, to be sure.
Are
But
they friendly?
they've never caused a problem here.
Do they bite?
What do
Well,
they drink?
well, he tends to favor the red wine, and she's a fan of the white.
Can I get one glass of each?
Of course. And he provides you with them.
Alright.
That'll be 4 silver each.
Alright, I'll give him a gold, just because I don't feel like breaking change.
Much appreciated.
Don't trust the bartender, always trust the bartender. And I'm going to go over to the table.
All right.
I'm going to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, sure.
I know what I'm doing.
You head on over, and they notice you, and they automatically look down and see the drinks in your hand.
You two look like you can use another round.
Oh well, who can't really? Yeah.
May I sit?
Well, since you brought some beverages, I don't see why you couldn't have a few minutes of our time. What do you say, dear? Oh, I think that's only polite. We couldn't, so you sit down. We couldn't help but notice that you came in with a rather interesting group of people. Tell me, what are you and your friends? I mean, we know that you're a human. She's a half orc.
what are we?
The other one's a goblin,
What
but
are you?
the other two, I've never seen a walking turtle or a metal stone wood person before. Is it actually a person, or is it a golem of some kind?
Not a golem. We are trying to figure that out, actually.
Oh,
He
well, it
has
sounds exciting.
his own sentience, his own mind, and
Oh.
emotions. So we're trying to figure that
well.
out. But and the turtle, he's come from a swamp. I've never assumed one before him, so he's good though. Very
Well,
intelligent.
Fascinating. I am sure that they are wonderful people. So, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Grigori, and this is my. It's all right. You can just say girlfriend. My girlfriend. Or you could call me Serfina. Well, of course. This is Serfina. Indeed. And you and your friends, what are your names?
Well, I'm Adis. That's Grig, and that's Olive, and then the construct was defect and the turtle's spoot.
Ah.
Yeah, we met our. Oh my god, what town did we start in? I forget.
Sewell.
Cool.
Sewell. We met down in Sewell. We had to go on a trip for my employer,
Oh,
kind of.
I've never been to Sewell. That's down near the Triangle Bay, right?
Yes.
Ah, well, fascinating.
So I do have questions. I couldn't help but overhear on my way in. Uh, you, Greyclaw bought something and stuff like.
Oh, are you
I've
aware
heard
of
some.
Baron Greyclaw?
I've heard some stuff, but well, in traveling. But now that we're here, and if he's here, I just would like to, know the happenings, know what to, if there's anything I need to keep an eye out for.
I don't see what you would need to keep an eye out for, but we'll certainly be happy to tell you. But he's had this halfling sort of attaché or promoter or something walking around for weeks, really, sort of talking him up. Very nicely dressed halfling. Surprisingly thin. But he's made himself very popular with his master's money. And as a result, his master is quite popular as well, at least among the locals, buying up drinks and having rounds and sponsoring songs for the various entertainers. It's all been very, newly minted sort of baron from some small out-of-the-way town comes in and wants to make a go of it in the big city.
Sounds like he's trying to maybe win people over, or maybe try
Well,
to give them one impression so that if something else pops up, people don't pay attention to it.
well, that is what you do. Indeed, especially when you are, new and trying to make your stamp on a new place. If you don't gain approval and gain positive reinforcement, how are people going to know about you when it comes time to throw a party?
That's fair. I mean, I come from a small village where it's more about skill than making yourself look nice.
Well, this baron is apparently quite skilled in terms of trade, at any rate. Apparently, he has purchased some new warehouse down on the docks to sell the wares from whatever little hamlet he's from.
Do you know what hamlet he's from? Has anybody?
No, I don't off the top of my head. Do you, Grig? Grigori? Well, funnily enough, I can't seem. Isn't that interesting? I don't know what barony he's from.
Because in traveling, I heard some stuff about this Grey Claw working with some not so savory individuals.
Oh, well, you can't pay attention to such rumors. I mean, people will always claim that their business rivals work with shady types just to get you to work with them instead.
Well, I found a handwritten letter signed by him to this group.
Really? Well, if you have such a thing, I would love to read it.
I can't remember who has it. Did someone keep it? I would imagine someone kept it.
I might have it. You're the one who found it, aren't you?
No, the bartender is in the other town is the one who found it when looking for my liquor.
Yep.
Right.
I believe one of my party members has it.
If nobody has it in their inventory, you do not have the letter.
It's in roll 20, but it's in giant.
Oh yeah. Well, it's in a different language. It's in giant, but we had someone translate it for us.
Oh, well, I don't really speak giant, so I wouldn't know anything about the translation if it was true or not.
But have you heard of a group called the Red Crows?
Red Crows? No, are they a performing troupe or something?
No, they're bandits that almost murdered an entire town a few days away.
Oh, well, surely not. No, that's horrible, but we don't get those sort of people here. Our guardsmen prevent banditry.
Well, the letter was from Greyclaw to them.
Well, if you can produce such a letter, then I will give a little more weight. I mean, it's certainly interesting and scandalous if true.
Can I insight check just like overall to gauge if they're possibly hiding anything or...
Yeah, absolutely.
And just kind of like their disposition, if they seem just gossipy or kind of like actually intrigued and might maybe trustworthy with this.
Yeah, go.
23.
All right, with a 23, Adis. These two live for gossip and information. You get the sense that they are those two people who like to know what's going on and know everybody's dirty laundry. And it's not to be malicious. It is just to be in the know. They feel important when they know something that other people don't know. That being said, like, they don't mind spreading what they... You get the sense that they don't mind spreading things that they know are actually true, but they're not going to... They're not like rumor mongers. They're not going to spread lies or disinformation about people. It's obvious that they are intrigued by what you are saying, but if you can't produce evidence or demonstrate it in some way, they're not going to log it in there. This is useful information file. It's more like they might keep it in the back of their minds, but they're not going to spread that around.
Right.
It could be detrimental to do so.
To spread it around?
Could be.
Right. That's why I want to make sure first, because it's like one of our leads. But gossips are always a great time. Give me one moment, and I'll kind of go back to Olive and Greg. Do one of you have the letter from Greyclaw?
Nah, I don't.
I think we left it with whatever the hell his name was. I wrote it down, but I forgot.
I mean, I imagine we would have taken it, or at least Adis would have.
It's not in your inventory. You don't have it.
God damn it. Okay. Really, nobody thought to... God damn it. Fuck.
Womp womp. Sorry. You can always go back and get it.
I know. If only I left a vial of blood there.
Provided they didn't just throw it out. They were cleaning their tavern, so.
Well, that's unfortunate. Well, I'll go back to the table and just... I'm sorry. Neither me nor my companions seem to... I thought one of them would take the note, but I guess we left it back in the town after we killed the Red Crows. Or the majority of them.
Oh, well, good riddance to banditry, I suppose. Unfortunate that you don't have this letter. That would have been very interesting.
Yeah, it was actually that's one of the reasons we came here, was this group is very volatile, and one of the members, just because she's a psychopath and she flew this way, so
she flew
on a hippogriff.
Oh, a hippogriff.
Have you seen one of those around here?
Let's find out.
I know, unfortunately, I can't produce the letter, but I mean...
Well, there are, actually, people have been talking about seeing mounted hippogriff riders occasionally over the past few months. Not many, one or two maybe.
Could it be the same one, or has it been...
I'm not really sure. I haven't personally seen them, but I've heard about such things, and I trust the people who saw them. There's certainly no rule against owning such a creature as a mount.
Oh, have you seen any of this? I'm gonna pull out one of the Red Crow insignias. Have you seen this on anybody walking around?
No. Unfortunately, I have not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's from that Red Crow group, but again, I wish I could produce that letter, but I mean, the bartender said you're here once a week. I don't know how long we'll be here, but if you possibly see anything that could help us, because a lot of people got hurt.
Well, we will ask around, and it's possible somebody might know something.
I can, if
I
anything, try to.
suppose I could tell you that we tend to stick to the upper side of town. Such unsavory creatures like these red crows are probably down towards the docks, if they're here at all.
That's a fair point. But I just, if you stay more on the upper scale side, and it's true, possibly they are working with this Baron, you might possibly hear something eventually. If it comes to it,
Well,
I'd
if
be
we do,
willing.
we will be happy to come by and let you know something.
I could try to make it worth your time, if anything.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we'll keep our ears out, but that's the best we can do, unfortunately.
All right. I'll put a gold down on the table. Thanks. You can get another round on me, and I'll go back to the party.
Well, not with 1 gold.
Well, yeah, their drinks were 4 silver each, right?
They were.
I'll
They're-
put down another. I'll give them another
Trying
gold.
to, they're trying
It's
to.
fine.
Oh, well, that is most generous of you.
The upsell.
We raided. We got it from a dragon
For
horde,
the
so
tip.
it's not a big deal.
A dragon horde? Oh.
I'm already walking away.
And you hear over the back of your shoulder, why do they always leave after they say something interesting?
Gotta keep them coming back for
I
more,
like this. I like this trend that Adis has started to do.
right?
Wonderful.
Oh yeah, we killed a dragon. Bye.
Yeah, by the way.
Yeah. Peace out. And that is a good point for us to take our break. So we will take a short 5-minute break, and then we will be right back with more crazy, wacky adventures in Fayharbor here on Nuuli Forged. So we will be right back, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us. So where we were, our players have split into a couple groups. We were just with the group in the above decks. We're going to switch over now to Spoot and Defect, who are on their way to the library of 3.
So exciting.
Yeah, so Spoot and Defect, the both of you you've gotten directions, so it's easy enough to find. When you approach the building, Spoot, the area starts to look a little familiar to you, and you see a 4-story building kind of rise up from among the other 2-story ones. It's got a little bit of a circle or park around it. And you can tell, based on the construction and the placement of other buildings, that it is a 3-sided building.
Does it appear to be what I had a vision about?
Yeah, it looks pretty dang close to what you had a vision about.
Okay. I'm gonna slow up as we approach and just kind of take it all in, and go
Yeah.
with Defect and go. No, Defect. I think this is the library that was in my vision. I feel like this is familiar.
If I remember correctly, you only told Adis Grigg about your dream. So I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you're right. Oh, that's fine. Call me on it as Defect.
So Defect was
That's brilliant.
he won't say anything. He just kind of like, just kind of.
I will. No need for an inside check on that. I'm partially metagaming here, I guess, but I will say, Defect. I'm so sorry. I realize that I may not have mentioned that to everyone. I had a vision of a 3-sided building, and I pulled Adis and Grigg aside to ask them because I thought maybe they had seen something like this in their travels. I know, Grigg being from the city, I actually don't. I'm starting to realize I don't actually. Just assuming here the Defect has no past. Anyway, I will fill him in on the vision, and then write down a note for later. Ask Defect about his past.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I don't know what this means. All I got in the vision were images, but this feels right. Maybe we should just be wary as we enter.
It is a library full of books. What should we be afraid of?
I don't know. I just have a strange feeling. Don't get me wrong. I'm normally very excited about a library full of books, but well, anyway, let's go in. Let's see what it's all about, and if nothing else, maybe we can find something to read.
You enter, and as you approach, first of all, you can see that there are triangles and eyes kind of all over the building. There's usually either 3 eyes in an inverted triangle, and then or an eye in a triangle. It's a lot of the repetitive motif. And Spoot, you know that these are imagery related to Ayun, the goddess of knowledge.
Okay, sorry.
No. What do you got?
And that apparently I don't know how to spell Ayun.
Ioun.
Oh.
Oh, that's not how I would have spelled it at all.
We're starting with an A. Yeah, so I'll just turn to Defect and say, so Defect, anything in particular that you're looking for? You have a section of books you're hoping to find? Poetry, perhaps?
I mean, Defect hasn't been open about his reading material, but
I probably don't know about the poetry then. Whoops.
Yeah, no, it's okay because Defect is starting to get a liking to you, Spoot. So Defect will say, a book on poetry.
Oh, poetry. Oh, very nice. Oh, this is a new library to me, obviously, so I suppose we should go see if we can find someone to help us. Do we see a clerk desk?
Yeah,
Reception.
when you enter the library, it's
Card
just,
block.
big open door, or well, it's got double doors, so you can just enter it very easily. In doing so, you find a room that is surprisingly well lit. Like it's not like a library that has dark corners or little things. Even at this point in the evening, it seems to be well lit, and you can see that there are like mirrors and reflective surfaces kind of set up to illuminate light from large lanterns that exist in certain places. However, no open flames appear like on above a bookcase or anything. But yeah, you enter, and there is a robed figure in kind of dark blue robes with like gray trim. And she looks up from her desk, this little reception desk. Oh, welcome to the Library of Three. How may I assist you in your quest for knowledge today?
Oh, first, I think we would like to find if you have a section on poetry.
Oh, of course. I am Keeper Valdira. So just follow me and I will lead you to the arts section.
Thank you, Valdira.
You are perfectly welcome. And what are your name? What is your names? Assuming you both have names?
I am Defect.
I kind of chuckle.
Oh, she's kind of
Everything.
surprised that you spoke. Oh, fascinating. Are you sentient?
I believe I am. Yes.
Well, I think that cements it then.
I'm spooked. To make your acquaintance.
Well,
I'm also sentient, by the way.
Oh, of that I had no doubt.
I just kind of laugh. I kind of laugh after I say it.
Well, by all means, follow me. I will bring you to the poetry section, the art section. And she kind of leads you down through some well-lit directions. And you're soon in a section with a bunch of books, in various states of repair, although each one is like lovingly tended. Is there anything specific you are looking for about poetry? Are you looking for collected samples of a particular kind, or how to construct poetry, or theories on the creation of it as an art form, or the history of poetry? What knowledge do you seek this day?
Yeah. Defect takes some time to ponder this question, and then he'll say, I seek insight into what it is to be alive.
A question which philosophers and poets have wondered for thousands of years. Well, let's see what we can find here. And she kind of like lovingly like caresses a couple of books as she goes by, and eventually pulls one out. This may provide some insight. It is a book containing poetry from an elven poet contemplating the existence of an elf in nature. I know you are not an elf, but the natural order of things and his viewpoints on the subject may provide insight for you. It is written in Elvish, but there are common translations in this book as well.
I'll ask the librarian, how old are the books?
Which ones?
All of them.
The oldest.
Well, the oldest tomes that we have are many hundreds of years, but those are usually kept in reserve for the higher ups, the The archivist himself, or hire keepers, both for security and repair. You don't want just anyone handling those.
I do not know what I am. Do you have any books that will answer that question?
Well, we have books on golems and on constructs of various kinds in the arcane research section. However, none of those creatures are sentient. So, if you are indeed sentient, and you seem to be, as far as I can tell, I'm not sure if they would help you, but you are welcome to look.
Has anyone tried
If that is-
anything? Oh, sorry. Spook was just going to try to be helpful. Has anyone ever tried to make a construct sentient? Do you have anything that might contain notes of, I don't know, experiments or
Well,
trials of?
any such knowledge that we have here, as far as actual experimentations might be concerned, are kept by the archivist in a more secured location, because you don't want such things getting out and around. Not that we restrict the knowledge, just that we make sure it doesn't go amiss or awry, I should say.
Would it be possible to get access to some of that, just for information and bettering our knowledge? I have to be honest. We're trying to learn about defects past here.
Well, the archivist, he may be able to help you with that. Yes. Well, if you're not going to read the book on poetry, I can put it back, and I can take you to the archivist.
I will take the book. I'll just take the book from her.
Well, if you're not going to read it now, you have to read it in the library, you see. And if you want to go talk to the archivist, you can't be here reading the book.
I see.
Yes, we are not a bookstore.
We could take a moment to
read
read the poetry.
this area of the library. Come back to it later.
You are welcome to return, of course. It's just we don't allow our books to leave.
Understood.
Of course.
And Jared, on our path over here, I think Spook was going to try to just keep an eye out, maybe get a general layout of the library, or see if anything stuck out to him. He wasn't necessarily following or memorizing the path to those books as much as he was following Defect and Volterra. Did anything stand out to him about the library, or just kind of it's the library?
It's a library. There are rows and rows of bookcases and bookshelves. It seems like it's divided in some way, although you aren't sure exactly what that way is. The system is obviously one that Valdira knows, but it is not yet obvious to you in the few minutes you've been here. But nothing too crazy stands out to you at this point. There's all sorts of books. You get the feeling that you could spend years here just reading, and you'd make a sizable dent given enough time, but there's a lot of books here.
Spook's adventuring days are over, folks.
Just going to be
okay,
here
great.
in the library.
Well, if you want to speak to the archivist, I can take you there now.
Look at Defect.
I look back at Spoots and say, "This is where I would like to go, but where do you want to go?"
I think this sounds incredibly insightful, and I'm always hoping to learn something, so I think we should go. Poetry for another day.
Very well.
All right. You are led through a few sections and up some stairs to a solid kind of dark colored door. And she knocks, and a kind of gruff voice answers. Yes? Sir, we have a few supplicants here desiring some advanced research. Very well, let them in. She opens the door and ushers you in, and then closes the door behind you. Inside, you see a half-elven man with long, kind of salt pepper hair in a very tight, intricate braid down his back. Kind of salt pepper goatee in like a Van Dyke scenario. And very thin, two crystal blue colored eyes, wearing the dark blue and silver robes, but more ornate. And he is wearing a holy symbol of Ayun about his neck. Welcome to the Library of Three. I am Archivist Seda Malur. How may I help you today? I understand you wish to investigate some more advanced tomes.
I wish to seek understanding of what I am.
Oh. I was not expecting you to speak.
No one does.
This is interesting. Are you trapped in there, or is this your form?
No one has ever asked.
I think
Oh,
Spoot
that's
even
got
laughs
deep.
because he's like,
This got
taken
deep.
off guard.
Trapped in there.
That I do not know. I believe this is who I am.
Fascinating. And it has been some time since I have seen a turtle, but it is. You are, of course,
you have
welcome
seen one
here.
before.
Well, yes, of course.
Thank you. You made your way to the south in the swamps of Logrel?
In my youth, I went to many places. I'm not sure I went to Logrel specifically, but I've certainly seen a few
That's
turtles
what
in
I
my
said,
time.
Logrel. Excellent. Oh,
Well,
I see a few faces around town, not many.
Yes. Well, what exactly are you looking to do research on? And what sort of books do you seek?
Does anyone
Anything to
try
explain?
to,
Sorry, defect first.
yes.
Yeah. Anything to explain who and what I am.
Interesting. And what were you going to say, Spoot?
I was just going to ask if, has anyone ever tried to sentience to a construct and written it down?
Oh, well, many people have tried over the course of history to imbue consciousness into a variety of objects and golems, and to limited degrees of success and whatnot. So perhaps we should start there. And he kind of gets up from behind his desk and urges you all to follow him. So you all, he leads you to a room on the same floor that that his office is on, and kind of unlocks it, and it's a big room with a bunch of kind of caged books that are like locked in certain ways, like they are kept there safe, and they're kind of floating in these cages. Think like the books in Doctor Strange and Carmitage. So they he kind of ushers you in and gestures for you to take a seat at one of the tables, and comes back a few moments later with a large tome. And how long are you guys going to spend doing this is my question.
Oh boy. Spoot could easily lose track of time here, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like once given the book, I'm going to turn to Spoot and say, I know you did not come here to learn about me.
Oh, well, I actually am very curious to learn about you. However, I understand the need for privacy in such a personal matter. So I'm happy, unless you need some further assistance, I'm happy to let you pour over this tome, and of course, I'd love to ask you about it later, but I can go have a look
And
around.
then I will.
Be excellent.
I'll lean in a little bit closer to Spoot and say, you had dreams of this place. Find out what they mean. And then I'll turn to my book and just like perusing the pages.
Yeah, so the archivist is there and like kind of he doesn't like prevent you from looking or whatever, but he is like, now you have to be very careful and you need to wear these gloves, and it's a very old book.
The gloves fit my hand.
Yeah, they do.
I don't think his hands produce that would damage
You don't know.
different kind of oil, perhaps.
Anyway,
speed reader, he just like
anyway, so the archivist is there with you, like going over the book with you. It's not like he doesn't
Okay.
read. He doesn't read over your shoulder, but he sits across from you while you
Okay.
read, just to kind of be there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of skimming for any words
Making
that
it-
pop out.
Make an investigation check.
All right.
Meanwhile, Spoot, what are you up to?
spooched. So the archivist is otherwise preoccupied.
Well, like he
Um,
will go and like get you a book about something, or like call someone to get a book.
Is Valdira still about, or did she leave as soon as she dropped this off with the archivist?
You don't see Valdira around, but there are other keepers here, any other lore keepers.
Oh, I'll leave
Or
him
knowledge
to
keepers.
attend to that's a good name. To attend to defect. I will approach one of the other knowledge keepers if
Mhm.
they don't look terribly busy.
You
Say,
approach any one of them, and they are very happy to help you.
Oh, excellent. I will say I'm actually looking to see if I can find out some more information on Ioun.
And
And,
so this gentleman's face kind of brightens, like, "Oh, I can easily show you where you can learn such things in the histories department. Please follow me," and ushers you out.
Excellent.
Cool. Go ahead and make an investigation check, Spoot, as well. Cool. Defect. Well, go ahead and make your roll first, Spoot.
Excellent. Let me try to. I'm gonna do this. Oh my! I was gonna give myself guidance, and I definitely need it because I rolled an 8, and then I will roll my d4 here.
Okay. What you got?
That's much better.
So 12, or is that before you added anything?
Oh, 12. That's the
That's the total?
8. The 8 is from beyond. Sorry.
Okay, cool. So, with a total of 12, you both spend a significant amount of time going over your respective books. Defect, you find all kinds of like how to build a flesh golem in 16 easy steps. You find how to imbue obedience into a teacup. You find a lot of like these kinds of like small things. You do not manage to find anything as complex as yourself in the book over the course of like the next hour and a half or so. Spoot with a 12, you learn you get through most of like the introduction to Ioun book. You learn that she is the goddess of knowledge. She is also called the knowing mistress. She had her symbol, the symbol of like 3 eyes inside of a triangle, is the reference to opening the inner third eye amongst your mind. So the idea, and she believes in the spreading of knowledge, even knowledge that can lead to destructive things should be known, so that people can decide to not use it. There's a difference between having knowledge and using knowledge. She is about the accumulation and sharing of knowledge, so that knowledge is power, but is not used to overpower others. It's more like knowledge is power in the way that you can preserve society with knowledge. Those are kind of her tenets and her ideals. And by the time you kind of figure your way through that, you do notice a couple of parallels between Farlane and Ayun. They both believe in searching out and seeking new knowledge and discovering new data. Just their methodologies are very different. She is more dedicated to research and trial and error, whereas Farlane is about the experience and personal accumulation as opposed to consolidation.
I think I found the deity for Grig.
But yeah, so you both realize it's getting up to that point where you're supposed to head back to the tavern.
If I may, I want to ask the archivist, because the library is called the Library of Three, what is the three exactly?
Oh, it is a reference to the three eyes of the symbol of Ayun, or the three sides of the opened triangle.
Do they each represent something?
The third eye is a belief in our holy scriptures that knowledge opens the eye of the mind and allows one to see the universe more clearly.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Because
I
I
get
know
that
I
in
know Greg later, so I'm glad I had.
It's good character development.
If we can, on our way back, can I strike up a conversation with Spoot?
Sure. I'm not going to stop you.
Spoot will.
God comes down
now,
and says, "No
machine."
talking."
Yeah. So first of all,
town, there'll be no talking in the streets.
The library.
And lo, he said, "Thou shalt shut it."
right, as the portal and Warforged walked down the street, the Warforged were turned to the portal and asked,
I've got it in chat. They have been smitten for speaking. They've fallen in love. They're smitten. Aww.
Oh.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I'm sad to say I don't think I did. I thought maybe reading a bit about Ayun, in particular her symbol, might help me understand why I was seeing some of this in my vision. But something else. There's something else to it that I haven't unlocked yet. How about you? Did you get anywhere close? I know this is maybe finding a needle in a haystack sort of research.
Nothing that can further of who I am or where I'm from. But I hope to come back.
I do
Perhaps
too.
we can tomorrow.
Yes, I think so. It's definitely weighing on my mind that we're here for another purpose, and it's easy to get distracted with this wealth of knowledge. I could spend days in that library. And I certainly think what you're searching for is very important. I'd love to help any way I can. Definitely want to come back tomorrow. Perhaps I need to meditate tonight and try to decipher what that vision could have meant and what information this library has.
And if I can, I'll help you in finding reason to your dream and what this place.
I will take. I'd be very honored to have your help. And I know the two of us must stick out in this town, but I do feel secure with you about. I'm not sure where trouble may be hiding in this town. And it's good to have someone along. Thank you.
Of course. And then after like a little mini pause, Defect wants to ask Spoot, do you ever wish to return to the desert?
No, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the desert is that temple, or the ruined structure that the dragon was in. I didn't learn nearly enough about what it was or why it was there. If I had more time, I'd love to go study that, I think. I wasn't a big fan of the environment, I must admit, but I think I got on better than Edis did.
Do you know what I think?
Tell me.
I think about the time that we came upon that snake, and everyone fell but for us. And before I could strike the snake down, you offered something to the snake that made it go away.
I must admit, I sort of blocked out.
Yeah, do you ever wish to
Okay.
retrieve that item?
I do, and that troubles my darkest dreams sometimes. I have a feeling that those events are going to come back and going to have to face some consequences. I don't think it was wise of me to give up the item so lightly. I didn't fully understand the power that that thing had. But there's a lot left I need to learn about that entire situation and what's to come of this. So I have no doubt that those actions will have some consequences, and I'm afraid we're probably not going to like the result. That item I gave up is something that has been passed down for several generations in my village, almost to the point of losing the true meaning behind it. I'm sure it's much more important than just a trinket.
What I think about that day is that for the moment, you were the strongest of us all. And since that day, it has shown through a few times. Do not be afraid of your strength. You know you can always fight by my side at the heart of the battle.
Spoot's going to smile and take a moment to think about that and say, in fact, don't be afraid of your insight, because I think you have the makings of a cleric. I appreciate that, and I think that perhaps I should be a little more bold with my abilities. Sorry, can't get distracted. I think at that moment too, I let the priority of trying to keep safe and alive take over any thoughts or doubts I may have had, and that led to my sort of brash actions. I'm often afraid of acting too hastily without thinking it, but now that you mention it, I do often overthink some things. So some more. These are good things to meditate on. So I do appreciate your insight there. I wish that I had spoken to you sooner. I have a lot to learn about the rest of this party still.
That is okay. I'm not easy to speak to.
Well, I'm probably not either, admittedly. I know we have a lot to uncover about your past and Adis's as well, and that interests me a lot. But I think we've been so busy lately. There seems to be one thing after another, and protecting the people of this area is also very important. So I hope that after we get this sorted out, we'll have some time to really hunker down in the library, see what we can find.
Agreed. Agreed.
Food spirits are lifted.
I guess with that, we'll head into the bar.
Okay. You return to the bar. You see your friends who are there and have been keeping an eye out and watching things. Why don't the three of you who remained at the bar, just give me a perception check.
Constitution check, perhaps?
Has it been over an hour?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, I could recast. I would recast to give him enhanced ability again.
Okay.
So you get advantage.
Apparently, he needs it.
Apparently.
Cool. Great. So yeah, with a 23 and a 22, Adis and Olive, over the course of the time that you spend here, the 2 hours after Adis's conversation, you notice that people stay and drink. Some people leave, more people come. But slowly it shifts from a dinner crowd to a drinking crowd. Sorry, you're muted, Tanner.
This is getting better now.
Yeah. And as such, people become more animated. They become, drunk. Everybody's still, like, for the most part, is like well-to-do. Nobody's getting sloppy. Nobody's being like, there's no brawls happening, but people are drinking and talking about the different tastes of various beers and spirits and wines. But yeah, the crowd is definitely more drinking wine and spirits than beer.
Are people still pointing and laughing at us, or pointing and talking about us?
Occasionally, not so much at you or Adis, but there are like obvious like
half orcs. It's not that strange.
Yeah, no, they have half orcs here, but there are a few glances at Greg that the two of you notice. Nobody is like rude about it, but not all the conversations can be heard. It's a big, loud tumult. So,
I would also let Greg know as soon as my tracking thing feels like it's moving back to closer to us.
Oh, good. I was starting to get worried.
Yeah, and the magic time limit's almost out, I think.
Yep.
I feel it slipping.
And at that point, Spoot and Defect walk into the bar.
I run over. You find anything cool? Did you learn anything good? You want a sip of this? There's not that much left. It's really tasty.
Defect will say yes, yes, no, yes, and take the cup.
Yes.
It is a sweet, syrupy cordial. The texture is strange to you, Defect, but it's not unpleasant. It's actually pretty tasty.
He'll hand a bottle back. Delicious.
Great. We found something else you like.
Yeah.
I go trotting back to the table.
Very cool.
Oh, I totally also want to speak to, or just like start, once Ada starts getting drunker, just to like start regaling the bartender with shit that we've done.
Oh yeah, he's a rapt audience. He's somehow listening to you all while taking care of customers at the bar. There are also like other servers doing tables, and once you migrate over to a table, you have to like go up to talk to him, but it's not that hard.
I
Olive
expect
still
that
has
Greg
her
would
back to the wall
interject.
and is watching the crowd.
Greg just like starts correcting Adis.
Every once in a while. Not much. Mostly watching the door.
Yeah, none of you get like a threatening air or any like malicious intent in this bar.
That's fine. I'm waiting for Defect and Spoot to come back.
Yeah, they're back.
Right, but the whole hour, however long.
Mm-hmm.
Spook
Yep.
could also read the minds of all the drunkards.
But you are all now together at your table. What's up? What are you doing?
I guess we need a place to stay unless we're gonna just sleep in the bar. I don't know if Vidar will like that.
Wait, is this an inn or is it just a tavern?
It's a tavern. You haven't asked about rooms.
I don't know. I think this place might be a little fancy for us.
He likes you. Go ask him.
Go up to Vidar. Where can we find a place to stay?
I've got a couple of rooms, if you don't mind getting a little cozy. I've got 2 double rooms left. So one of you might have to be a little cozy, but one of you is wee.
How much per night?
Per day here, it'd be 1 gold.
That's not bad.
Nah,
I'll
it's
take
perfectly
both.
reasonable. Very well, that'll be 2 gold.
I'll put down 2 gold.
Pleasure. Here are your keys. The keys are marked with which rooms they go to. So easy enough for
Thank
you
you.
to deal with. Of course. Thank you.
Can I get an imported liquor this time?
Ah, yes.
Surprise me.
He brings out another highball, but this one is like etched and very fancy and like crystal, like a crystal glass kind of deal.
Yeah.
And he pours a syrupy brown liquid out of a bottle. Thank you. A bottle that is kind of golden colored. And he pours about a finger's worth into it. This is very exciting and expensive. Got it myself off of some merfolk on the Baltic Ocean.
That's interesting. Have I ever heard of merfolk?
More squid ink.
Make a history check.
No more squid ink, please. Ha!
Whoa.
Natural 20. You have absolutely heard of merfolk.
You may have dated a few in your past.
No. They
Yeah.
would have to
There
swim very far.
are merfolk and similar creatures in the Feywild, so it's not unheard of for you to have researched a little bit about them. You know that they are humanoids, but they live in the ocean. They're generally peaceful. So yeah, they're merfolk. They're cool. They hang out. They swim.
That's very interesting. I'll take a sip of it.
Yeah, it's weird. It kind of floats on the back of your tongue for an instant before you swallow it, almost as if it's lighter than the water in the saliva in your mouth. But it's weird. It doesn't burn. It soothes, and it's refreshing. And then it pops you right in the back, and you get this intense, fruity, almost savory flavor to it. Like if you've ever had a durian, it's similar.
Oh god.
But there's no unpleasant aroma from it. So
Whoa! Can I get another glass of this one?
after you pay another 8 gold.
Okay. Adis is drunk. It's fine.
Cool.
So that's 18 gold down the drain?
16.
Well, and for the room.
Oh, yes, for the room as well. Yes, it would be 18.
Okay. And I'm gonna plop the glass down and Greg, you have to try this one. Also, I got us rooms.
Is this like the mushroom thing? Also, thanks. How much can I give you?
It's 1 gold a day. So
Pay as you go?
each room. Yeah, so I gave him a gold for tonight. Each
All right,
room.
here, have a gold. I'll
Oh.
pay for me a defect.
Okay, thank you. No. But try the drink. It's interesting. It's fruity. He got it from merfolk.
A what now?
Like people who live in the ocean.
Fish people.
There are people that live in the ocean?
Yeah.
Huh. I sniff
Try it.
it. Is this like the mushroom thing? Are you gonna get
No.
weird?
I'm just drunk.
I take a sip. Like a little sip. Like just touch of the tongue sip. I don't quite trust Adis's liquor taste.
Yeah, you get the same feelings that Adis had. It kind of floats down the back and then kind of soothes and then kind of kicks the back of your throat. And it's a fruity, savory flavor.
This isn't bad.
It feels weird though, right?
I mean, like a little.
Yeah, it's good. It's 8 gold a glass.
What?
It's fine.
The entire tavern turns when Greg shouts, "What?"
Yep.
There's a violin that goes.
Bar fight time.
Who let this goblin in?
Congratulations, we're now those people.
Yes.
After a
Always
few
always
minutes,
tired of
everybody. After a few moments, everyone's like, and the conversations resume. Realizing that nothing dangerous is happening, someone just shouted for some reason.
Drink it though. Drink more. Try a bigger sip. It's even better.
No, I don't. You see this? This is no. I'm good. Thanks.
But look at how pretty the glass is as well.
It is pretty. Can I keep it?
Finish your drink first.
No, yours. Here, I'm doing this. I'm gonna go back to my cordial.
Yeah.
Spoot, do you want to try it?
Oh, what? Oh,
The merfolk
Sure.
liquor. Drink it.
merfolk, you say? Wow. Yeah, I'll try a sip. Thank you. Spoot's just been like poring over his notes and trying to figure out what the eye in the triangle means. Spoot takes a sip.
Cool. Spoot, you get all the same sensations, but you get something else.
Oh, what?
Yeah. There is some part of your brain being an entity that can swim underwater and has spent significant time underwater. There is something in the back of your brain that recognizes another layer to the flavor. When that kick happens, it opens up capillaries in your brain, and you realize that you understand more about like ocean movements than you thought you had previously, like the movement of water. In a weird way, it's almost like you could see the currents clearer than if you were swimming. Like normally you can feel them and you can sense them because that's what happens when you swim. But this would like you feel like you could see those currents as well.
Oh,
I think it is the mushroom liquor.
I think it is. I think you're just gonna see like Spoot a moment, and his eyes are just gonna like get so large over the course of like a couple of seconds.
Oh no. It's happening again.
I should
Where
say
did you
you do
get
not
this?
feel debilitated by this in any way. Like,
Right. But it's just like it unlocks something in my. I'm gonna like immediately look at Ada and say, "Where did you get this? Where did this come
He
from?"
said the bartender bought it from some fishermen off of a coast.
Did you feel anything when you drank it?
Just the poppy, floaty feeling.
Oh wow, there's a lot going on here. I don't even know how to explain it, but I would love to take a sip of this in a nice pool and just swim around.
Adis is just gonna like, are you okay?
I don't know. I mean, yes, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not drunk. I don't know. There's something about this that just made this strange connection with the ocean, the sea. Oh,
Interesting.
Can I see the bottle? I need to write this down.
You can, I mean, go ask Vidar.
I'm gonna raise my hand into this. We can cut to this being another scene. I am gonna flag the bartender down and ask him if I can look at the bottle. And
he will show you the bottle, and he asks if you want a glass. It's 8 gold.
Oh, I don't really want to be distracted from what I'll come back to it, but I do want to know what this is.
You have
I
a whole
to
glass still, unless you chugged it.
Me?
Yeah, like I got a whole glass, not just a shot glass.
You bought me a glass of it. Oh, okay.
The one I gave to Greg, but Greg didn't want it. It's a highball, so there's still more.
Oh,
Yeah, there's like a finger's worth in the glass. So
okay, I'll just tell him that I'm happy to finish this, but at risk of breaking my concentration, I better not drink anymore.
Yeah. Did you ask him like the name of it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the name, where he got it, like
It's called Anglosia.
Anglosia. What does he know about the merfolk that made it, if anything?
He launches into a long story about how he weathered a storm and they saved him many years ago, and then he started his bar and went out to see if they had anything that might be like any kind of liquor, and they produced this, and so he's had a friendly trading agreement with them ever since.
Wow. Does one travel? The area, I guess, is where they live.
He tells you it's up in the or over in the Atlantic Ocean. But he doesn't get more specific than that.
You got to figure out what all this means. Thank you so much, and I will go back to notes.
Okay, cool. What are your objectives in this bar? Are you doing anything, or are you just gonna like hang out?
I'm just relaxing for the evening, because if we're staying here, then there's no point to go anywhere.
Cool. Then yeah, the night goes on, and unless you want to do anything, you can go to bed.
Hey, before bedtime, assuming Adis and Greg or Defect and Greg are sharing a room. Of course, now he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Assuming that Defect and Greg are
Defect
going
did
to
one of
share
his
a room.
shutdowns.
No.
Get a quick system update.
A little stutter there. His power is getting low. Went into low power mode. Gonna wait until whoever else is in our room is asleep, and then gonna whisper, Defect. If we make other friends, do we stay friends?
Oh.
Aww.
Defect takes, a couple seconds to pun this question. Yeah, I believe we can make more than one.
Huh. Okay. You're still my favorite. Snores.
You're my best friend, Greg.
Aww.
Greg is already
Best friend.
sleeping.
Did I just make up that term?
Best friend for what?
Best friend, is that a new term? Did I just make that up?
I don't know. I haven't heard it before. But also, I don't know about friends a lot. I mean, you're my first, kind of.
This is so wholesome.
Okay, good night. You're my best friend
Aw.
too. Yeah, I think I get what you mean there. Feels good to say and feels good to hear.
Can I add something, Greg, to that?
I don't know, can you?
You're my best friend forever.
Oh,
Oh.
so cute.
I mean, we're not gonna live forever, to be fair. Like, we might die somewhere in between, but I guess you could still be someone's friend even after you're dead. I mean, if you die first, you'll still be my friend, but I don't know if you can return the friendship forever if you're dead. I don't know how that works.
How long I'll live? I could live forever.
That's true. I'm probably the one that's going to die. In which case, I can't really, return your friendship, but I can appreciate the thought while I'm alive.
I'll always think about you, Greg, when you die.
Well, that's good. I like that.
This long rest brought to you by Hallmark.
Aww.
Anyway, the end. Making sure that that's after everybody else falls asleep.
Right, of course.
That's
Don't actually
so
get a long rest
cute.
because I stay up talking all night and
They build a little
me
pillow
and my
fort.
first birthday in college. Yeah.
I like to picture that I always take the pillow from the bed and just lay on the floor if there's only not the right number of beds, because he's too big for me to share the bed. I would think, but otherwise I'd just curl up
Well,
at the
Sweet's
foot.
also Spoot's also not in a bed. I don't know which room I ended up in, but I think he just positions himself in a corner.
Then
And as long as there's room for his shell, yeah, he just.
Inside of his shell, he actually has like an Alaskan king bed that he sleeps on.
It's like the TARDIS. Yeah, the inside is bigger.
Well, you all rest up for the evening, and you awaken the next day. The day is yours. You're in Fayharbor. Adis, you did get some kind of lead and suggestion that like the docks might be a place to find people like the Red Crows if they are indeed in this city.
Yeah.
There's apparently
And
a dive bar in the docks area that Corporal Keels recommended. I wrote it down.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'll be one stop. Hopefully that one's easier on my wallet to get drunk in. But yeah, I wanna check out the docks, look around there, and then I also want to find that warehouse, just to kind of like from a distance look at it, see if it's guarded, yada yada yada.
Yeah, sure. So you all head down to the docks. You know, it's morning, so people are like out walking around doing their chores, doing their shopping, like morning routine kind of stuff. What are you all up to? What are you doing? You can get breakfast at the tavern uh, at the above decks for um for like 6 silver pieces. You can each get a good solid breakfast.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Cool.
Is that 6 silver a piece or total?
Each. Yeah. And it's like a big, like hearty, well prepared breakfast.
Awesome.
Fish.
Hero's breakfast.
It's not quite what you would call a hero's feast, but it is a heroic styled breakfast.
The 2, 2, and 2.
Is it
2 pancakes, 2 sausage, 2 eggs, 2
Mackerel.
bacon.
Yep.
Mackerel.
Actually,
Breakfast
Spoot, one of their specials here in Fayharbor is mackerel. Like it's one of
breakfast
their
champions?
it is one of their like not cash crops, but like cash catches, I guess.
I have not had mackerel for breakfast in a long time. This is going to be good.
Spoot probably has like the most like consistent omega-3 intake out of any of us.
I
That's
will
an
live
omega.
forever.
Yeah.
It's some sort of vitamin.
Yeah, Spoot, when you get all excited, assuming you do at the like mackerel that is brought out for breakfast, the waiter also talks to you about the other fish that is popular here. He talks to you about red trout, which you've heard about before, and pellfish, which they're kind of a sunny yellow scaled fish, like they're like a bright, vibrant yellow. He also talks to you about deep squid, which are much rarer and much more expensive, and stone crab, which are also rare and pricey. And black too is the super rare thing. He likens it to like a tuna-like fish with black shimmery scales and a kind of sweet dark flesh. But it is very
Also
dangerous and very rare to find a catch of black too. They tend to run very deep in the very deep central parts of Broken Lake.
Very, very good.
And apparently can be quite dangerous to haul in. So
Sounds like that would be a profitable venture.
It does.
And once we save these people, let's go on a fishing adventure. That would make Spoot so happy.
First we kill the dwarf, then we go fishing.
Then we go fishing.
We'll just start like we'll buy a place here, we'll start our own restaurant specifically capturing and selling black too and price gouging it, and that's our economy. That's where it starts.
It's just a picture of Defect with a spear.
His returning
Is our logo.
spear. His returning javelin.
His returning javelin. That's the secret. I will ask, while we're talking about fish, if like someone was to do some casual fishing on the lake, where would they go? And what might they catch?
They recommend that you stay clear of like the main docks because it's just a busy place. But you can definitely like buy or rent fishing gear, especially over by the Wave Tide Watch, which is a temple of Melora that is on the shore of the lake, but it's a bit set off from the docks and town, closer to the mouth of the river, which runs to the north of town.
I want to check out that shrine.
Just writing all these notes down.
Yeah.
You're good. Got them all. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
So bellies and heads full of knowledge and breckies, you can all head on down to the docks if that is what you are attempting to do. Cool. So, what is it that you would like to accomplish down at Eel Docks?
Olive is just keeping her eyes open for anyone that looks like one of the bandits or wearing anything that suggests that they might be a red crow. She's
Okay.
very.
Yeah, make a perception check. Natural 20. Ooh. Wow, all is rolling good tonight.
She is very focused on this quest.
Yeah. You scan the entire area. You do not see anyone wearing Red Crow armor or anyone that you have battled with in the past. You see that there are like multiple birds and fish used as emblems on various warehouses that you're walking by, but you don't see anything that shouts Red Crow to you.
Do I see any armorers?
Yes, down in the docks there you do see a few armorers. Yeah.
I'm gonna poke my head in and see if they can repair some studded leather armor and how much they would charge for that.
Yeah, totally. Cool. So you walk in to this place. And it's like an outdoor anvil kind of blacksmithy place on one side, and then next to it there's more of like a constructed armor kind of shop. It seems to be like dual purpose weaponsmith armorer. And this human man kind of brings you in, like, so what can I do for you?
I've got this studded leather armor in poor repair, and I'm inquiring about what it might cost to have it repaired.
Well,
and made to fit me.
Of course. It's in some pretty bad condition. It was, I assume the previous wearer was much smaller than you.
It's 2 suits, and they came off of half orcs.
Oh, well.
So it shouldn't be that small.
I
stole them from the half orcs.
Okay, great. Then he said bigger then.
Yeah.
In that case.
Fair.
They seem to be a little mismatched, but I can take your measurements and have these repaired in 3 days for about 28 gold pieces.
Okay. I think that might be unfortunately outside my budget, but thank you for your time.
Of course.
Take them and go.
Yep. Come back anytime.
Apparently I'm going to learn some leatherworking if I want to have better armor.
Yeah.
Greg can help with that.
Cool. Everyone else, you're looking for which bar?
The Swabs and Suds.
Great.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, everybody go ahead and give me an investigation check real quick.
can do that one. There you go.
Ooh. With a 27, a natural 20 from Grig. Oh, yeah.
damn!
Everybody's got this. 27 from Grig, 19 from Adis, 21 from
Where's-
Defect.
Or Spoot.
Y'all have no problem finding
Oh, the knowledge cleric.
wah, wah. With an 11 for Spoot. Sorry, a 13 for Spoot. Oh, guidance. You all easily Spoot a little slower. He's watching the fish being brought in from like the early morning catches, and he can smell the fish market not too far off.
Yeah, my senses are overwhelmed.
Yeah. This is your first like big like port, other than like South Broke, which wasn't that expansive. So this is the first like big one with a full fishing industry. It's impressive. But you all do find the swabs and suds. It does not appear overly busy at this kind of early to mid morning kind of time. But
Shocker.
it's got a mop and like a mug of ale on the sign. So
That's cute.
yeah, it is.
Is it worth going there at this time of day?
We
time
might
is
be
it
a
right
little
now?
early.
I mean, it's like mid morning, but it is not like there's no. It's not like it's closed off. Like there's no like closed sign.
Hmm. Well, I mean, there's one other place I want to look at, so we can come back here later.
I feel like it might be more productive later when there's, perhaps when the dock workers are on lunch.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's premature, but I would love to go back to the library, I think. So I don't know where everyone else wants to go, but that's been on my mind, other than fish.
So I have to check out a warehouse that's possibly under the ownership of this Gray Claw.
Let's do that, and then we'll go to the library, do some sneaking. I have
All right.
some sneaky things prepared.
Let's go find this warehouse.
Want to
Yeah.
join me then at the library after the warehouse? I'm not good for
Yeah.
sneaking, obviously. And I did prepare. I'll look at Adis. I did prepare sending today.
Okay, just let me know if anything bad happens. Or Grig, or Olive.
Look at Defect and go, Defect, back to the library or to the warehouse?
Mm,
No one should be alone. But,
I'll go with you
Mhm.
after we look at the warehouse.
I feel we should inspect this warehouse.
Okay. Well, I cannot get this library off my mind, so I'm going to straight there. I'll send a message if anything is out of order.
I'll
Okay,
boop.
and you
Spoot
still have
again.
the piece of blood, right?
That's on Olive.
I have the I have.
Should we give it to Spoot so that we can get back to him if he gets in trouble?
We could do that.
I mean, it's just like good strategery.
Yeah.
in case he gets into trouble at the library?
It could be
We don't
kidnapped on
know.
the way.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Caution is wise.
fair. All right, I will give Spoot the vial of Adis's blood.
And I'm gonna Hunter's Mark Spoot again.
Okay. So Spoot, you go off to the library.
The library!
Yeah. Everyone
What's your blood?
else. Everyone else. You're all looking for this. The warehouse that you don't really know where it might be.
Yeah.
So make new
I mean, how many
investigation checks.
warehouses does it look like there are?
There's a
Like,
lot. Like there are
Okay.
a lot. Because like it seems like each kind of fishing consortium has their own warehouse, and there's also like merchants have their own warehouses to house various things and stores. So there's a lot of warehouses. So
Okay.
you're gonna have to do some investigating to find one that is, from what you gathered last night, it's not like it's popular knowledge, so it's going to be kind
Can
of difficult.
Are we all rolling individually, or can I assist Grig?
You can either all roll individually, or one person can roll at advantage.
I have a +7.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking
Yeah, I was gonna say that person should not be me.
I have a 1. And I think I've
Cool.
used up all my good rolls.
I'll ride on Defect's shoulders. Only a 14.
Okay. Riding on defect shoulders, it's very difficult to like sneak in and get edgewise on conversation about like where a new warehouse might be or who owns what warehouses. There's a lot around, and you guys spend a few hours kind of aimlessly wandering like the industrial parks, noting that like a lot of the warehouses have guards, most of them. There's a few empty ones that maybe don't or are just empty right now, and so the guards aren't there. But almost all the warehouses are also busy. Like people are working in them while there are also guards. But that's true on like all the warehouses. But you don't find any particular red crowy looking.
We don't see
warehouse.
anywhere where someone might be housing a hippogriff, do we?
Nope.
I mean, that could be just on the manor.
I mean, they're kind of big.
Yeah, but if he has a big manor, I think there's
Able. Yeah.
yeah. There's no like signs on the warehouses, possibly. Or
There are,
symbolically.
but you don't find one that matches what you know about the Red Crows.
Okay.
And there's no signs that are like this one is owned by Bob, this one is owned by Susan.
Right.
Like those don't exist.
Okay. That was a bust, but maybe we can find out some information at the Suds later.
Can we tell? We're looking at merchant places. Does it narrow it down at all for us to like ignore the ones that are fish?
Not in the time. That thought does not occur to you during your investigation process.
Yeah. Can we see where some ships are coming from, like on our way back through everything?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the ships.
see where
The
shipments
ships
are coming from.
Yeah, the ships are coming. The shipments are going into warehouses from the docks. Almost
No, I mean
exclusively.
like, where the ships are arriving from.
They're just arriving from the lake.
But there are destinations around the lake, I assume, if they're merchants bringing things in.
I see what you're asking. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were like physically where are things coming from.
Oh no.
Cool.
Like
yeah.
towns
So it varies. Like you kind of look around, like a few of them, you know, they don't have. How do I want to say this? They do not have like stuff in this warehouse is from the Elvish lands, and stuff in this warehouse is from, the Redentious Causeway, or and this stuff is from the Errant Wilds. Like it's not labeled like that. The labels are like the shipping company who owns them, and none of them say Red Crows.
Right. I meant like another investigation of like, well, we haven't found the warehouse, but let's figure out where some of these ships are coming from, and maybe that tells us if there's something coming from somewhere that.
Okay. Yeah, you can make.
Amber doesn't remember what was in the letter, but Amber remembers like the town that we were in has a name, and just that he's from somewhere, but nobody knows where.
Yeah, you can make another investigation check.
Okay.
Wait, I'm curious. If I use locate object on one of the badges that I have,
yeah,
could it sense when we're walking around if people have similar objects?
No, it only locates one object that you know. It's not like a like you have to know what you're looking for. So.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if there was duplicates of this one kind of thing.
Yeah, like you could locate Kevin's pocket watch if Kevin has a pocket watch, but if Arnold also has a pocket watch, it won't ping off of Arnold's pocket watch.
Got you. Okay. Worth a shot. I was gonna just say let's walk through the crowd and just ping all the Red Crows.
Yeah, not quite that user friendly, unfortunately.
Okay.
I like the thought though. You can make another investigation check, but it's going to be a lot harder to find that information out.
Okay. Can I poke Adis and be like, Adis, listen for where people are coming from in these merchant boats.
Okay.
So I'm I'm gonna investigate.
Mhm.
Only an 11.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't find out where stuff is coming from.
Should have enhanced ability yourself.
People are like kind of skirting you because you are obviously people who are just kind of like nosing around. You're not like,
We don't look busy.
you don't look like you're trying to buy something. So people are not like actively paying much mind to you, and they're kind of just walking around you. You're more of an obstacle than anything at the moment.
Any animals around I can talk to?
There are a few like horses kind of around,
Work. Better than chickens.
and like
sheep.
some like seagulls or like other kind of lake birds.
No.
Oh god, don't talk to the seagulls.
God forbid.
There are
Nice.
there are a lot of fish around, but they're all dead.
Oh.
Wait, I have speak with dead.
I believe that is look only to humanoids, but maybe it's creatures. If it's creatures, you could talk to a dead fish.
We'll find a merfolk in there.
I'm
Or
not
the
sure what
rever-
the dead
the
fish is
reverse
going to tell
mermaid.
you.
We'll find a reverse mermaid in there.
A maid mer?
Body of a human, head of a fish.
You mean Admiral Akbar?
Basically.
It's a trap! Yeah.
All right. So if I'm gonna, guys, what can I ask this horse? We think.
I don't know, you're the druid.
I know. I'm going to ritual cast speak with animals.
So you take 10 minutes in a busy street and just sit down.
I'm gonna move. I'll move out of traffic.
Okay, yeah. People are definitely like watching you, and like the horse isn't like standing there. Like the horse is working. So
Yeah, I don't have to talk to the horse all that time. I cast the spell and then I talk to the horse.
I know. I'm just saying that the horse you were planning on is like being led away,
Sure.
and after 10
Fine,
minutes,
well-
that horse is gone.
Okay, fine. I will use a spell slot and cast the damn spell.
All right, cool. You find another horse.
Talk to a horse. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask if they've seen any humans that are especially larger than others.
All the time.
Like.
Hey, what are you doing?
It's such a lovely horse, sir. Just patting on the nose.
Yeah, well, this horse has stuff to haul. Get out of the way. And you realize that this horse has like a big cart full of stuff and boxes behind it.
Okay, fine.
I mean, you know, it's a working dock. The horse is working.
Okay, fine.
You can walk with the horse, but you know.
Just take a walk.
Just stroll with the horse. No, I will let the horse go back to its business.
Okay. Make a quick perception check, because the spell lasts for 10 minutes, so. Cool. With a 15, Olive, you see that there is like a dog chewing on some kind of bone off on a side street somewhere.
Fine, I will talk to the dog. I
Okay.
want to know if the dog has seen anyone that is notably larger than the other people in this town.
Wow, what do you mean bigger? There's all kinds of people in this town. They're different sizes.
Aren't
Extra big.
Alliance gray? I think they're gray, right?
Okay.
I think
Maybe.
so.
I'm gray.
That you're green.
No, she's gray.
No, I'm gray.
Oh, okay.
Half horse can be kind of gray-green in between, like, you know, whatever.
Looking for someone who's bigger than everybody else.
Oh, well, there's, well, let's see what this dog knows. All right. Well, there's a couple of big people around. There's the big lady who smells like pigs, and there's the big guy who smells like dirt that you've buried stuff in. There's another guy who smells like gravel that you peed on to mark where you are. And there's another lady who smells I guess I would say she smells uh, like fresh horse dung, like right out of the horse. So it's really fun to roll around in. You know.
Right. How about have you have you seen any hippogriffs about? Have you seen something that looks like a horse with a bird?
Horse but bird. Nope.
Like it would be big and people would ride on it.
Nope.
All right. Well, that wasn't very helpful, guys. Sorry.
You're muted, Adis.
I said I think we should give up on the spell. The sheep's failed, the chickens failed, the dogs failed.
The dog gave you very good information.
It was very descriptive.
It was very descriptive.
Some of it is I'm concerned for some of the folk in this town now.
The dog also probably doesn't know people by name, so.
Well, yeah. No, just for like.
And the
it smells
description
like
you
piss.
get. It was pigs, not piss, but that's okay.
Pigs.
No, the one that smells like rocks that you peed on to mark your territory.
Yeah,
So that's someone who works in a quarry, probably.
could be.
And if it smells like you marked your territory on it, I'm just concerned for that person's stench.
Well, you know.
Or maybe the dog just meant it's someone that you stay away from.
I don't know dogs very well like that.
You know, dog. This particular dog. You didn't give him a big description other than bigger people, so he just went with what he knew that might mean.
I'm not so sure what else
Everyone's
to
bigger than this dog.
like.
Yeah. So the dog being a bust. What are y'all gonna do?
Cry.
I will say after these few hours, you do notice that people are like sitting down on pylons and like eating some sort of food or like walking away and like going to various places that you aren't sure about.
All right. It looks like it's getting to be lunchtime. Should we head back to the pub?
I feel like yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll go there, get some food and eavesdrop, and then go to the library. I'm tired of walking around. Doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
I could go for a sit.
Okay. So the four of you head on over to the Swabs and Suds. You noticed before when you saw it that this particular building actually looks like it's the back half of a ship that was dragged up on land and then retrofitted into being a bar.
Cool.
And it
So
is
it's a tugboat
kind of.
on
It
its
is
side.
kind of. It is very loud and very boisterous. And inside you go, and that is where we will end tonight's episode of Nuuli Forged.
Dun dun dun. Will there be fish on the menu?
Yeah.
And
Probably.
Spoot won't be there.
Will there be fish? Will there be spoot? Find out next week here on Nuuli Forged.
Uh-oh. Spoot's gone forever.
What does this door lead to?
The void of eternal doom.
Can still
Somehow
send sending through planes of existence that are different.
That is true.
There you
To
go.
find
Guys,
Yeah.
I found the
Answer one.
body that you threw through the portal.
Yeah, you just step through the astral
Spook
plane
brings it back. I need to give it last
Meanwhile,
rites.
Spook's gonna talk to dead fish, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, if he has the blood on him, I could open a portal to him, theoretically.
That's why we gave it to
I
him.
believe in the description of the item it says on the material plane.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. So if he.
DM's too good for that. He's too good.
I
No,
read
it's
it
just,
later.
whatever.
He knew who we invited to this party.
But let's go around and say some quick goodbyes. Plug anything if you have something you would like to plug. and I will figure out who we will raid this evening. Let's go around. Let's start with Spoot.
Hello. Bye. Yes, thank you for watching, and find out if I'm around next week, I guess. Yeah. Come check out Mid-Level Adventurers. I think we just put out something Monday, and yeah, we got lots of stuff in the works, so should be cool.
Very cool. Let's go.
See special guests from Nuuli Forged.
Yeah, let's go down to Adis.
Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you next week and see what could possibly go wrong in the city.
Yeah.
It's just a bar full of sailors.
Right. It's just one bar.
What could possibly go wrong there?
You got defect. We'll be fine.
Yes, but they're +1 sailors.
Jesus.
Next, let's go over to Olive.
Oh, hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Stay safe. I don't know, I got nothing else to say. Sorry.
All right. And Greg.
That's me. Thanks for watching. I just want to say, if you're mildly amused, share this with your friends.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Follow on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah. Oh, and YouTube. That's the other one.
Yeah. And Defect.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. Catch you.
And I have been Jared, your Dungeon Master here on Nuuli Forged. As Amber said, all the socials are Nuuli Forged. Follow us, like us, comment, subscribe, and we will see you back here next week to find out what they find in the swabs and suds. We're going to do, if anything, we're going to do a raid on Dungeon Scrawlers, and we will see you all next week. Goodbye, everyone.